Good morning. Good morning to your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on S3. It is a chilly Tuesday all around.
Yes, it is. Goodness. But you know what? We are here and we're going to warm things up for you between now and 9 o'clock. And I mean, those New Year's resolutions you set for yourself regarding especially fitness goals, have you been checking? I mean, I'm asking Mr. Fit here.
No, listen, it's halfway through the year and we all know, you know, going to a new year with a bang, you want to do things differently, you want to set those New Year's resolutions, but how are they looking? So I didn't really set myself anything because I know
that's your lifestyle.
I've got some life experience behind me, so I know what the New Year's resolutions are all about and what it takes to keep them. And what about you?
I've had to restart quite a few times, and I feel like yesterday I restarted again. I'm doing a fitness challenge. It's an 8-week challenge. So yesterday was week 1, day 1. So today's show is all about really helping you to get back into your fitness, perhaps unlock that potential that you have and really get you inspired to get off the couch and to really get moving, because it is cold. And the minute you move, things just feel better, not only physically, but mentally as well.
So today is definitely a show that is geared towards you to take part in what we're going to be doing. So we can be talking to experts with sound advice on diet, supplementation, the psychology of fitness, and where to start so you can keep going. Plus, what it takes to be a bodybuilder. I mean, the extreme end of the fitness journey.
Very interesting indeed. And we're also going to be chatting to varsity netball stars as we gear up for this year's Netball World Cup, which is super exciting. And of course, South Africa being the host.
Come on, it's going to be so awesome. So let's get this Tuesday rolling and say good morning to this handsome brother of mine. Graham, good morning, my brother.
Are you talking about him in the photo of me? Oh, stop it, Flatty. We'll get you everywhere. Good morning, you beautiful team. To the guys behind the scenes, and of course you, the heart of the show, welcome to it. It is a brand new day, and yes, today we move. Why? Because it is the key. I hate to say it, after the thousands of interviews and connections we've had on the show, this seems to be the one common thread for mental well-being, physical well-being, finding balance in your life. So how does that look to you? How do you motivate yourself on days like today where it's freezing cold, it's dark outside, but you've got to get up and you're going to go push, going to go do an extra rep, whatever that looks like to you? Motivate us. We want to see how you get yourself up and running in the morning. How do you motivate yourself to keep active when times are tough? You can let us know on our WhatsApp line or any of our social media pages, 063-408-8863. We are going there today. It's going to be about movement. It's going to be about physicality and getting stuck in. So hopefully you're going to get stuck in over the next 3 hours, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. But let's get those official duties underway, get the news and sporting headlines in, then we move.
Thank you so much, Graham. I mean, just looking at that photo of Carl on social media, you already instantly feel motivated. Thank you, buddy, for that. Let's start off your Tuesday morning with your national news headlines very quickly. 3 trucks have been torched by unknown suspects on the R574 between Lydenburg and Sekhukhune in Limpopo. Now, Limpopo police spokesperson Malesela Ledwaba says a group of 6 gunmen stopped the truck drivers and ordered them to disembark their vehicles. The gunmen then proceeded to torch the trucks before fleeing the scene. And this incident follows the torching of 12 trucks in separate incidents in Mpumalanga and KwaZulu-Natal some 2 days ago. Now, Ledwaba says the motive behind the incidents is not known. And Archbishop Stephen Brislin from Cape Town, one of the 21 new cardinals appointed by the Pope, says he hopes to emulate the example of his predecessors. Now, cardinals hold the most important rank in the Catholic Church after the Pope. 3 of the 21 new cardinals are from Africa. The other 2 hail from South Sudan and Tanzania. Now, the new cardinals are expected to be installed in September. Brislin has been Catholic Archbishop of Cape Town since 2010. He was born in Welkom in the Free State and studied in Pretoria and London. Making international news headlines now in blow to the Kenyan government. A court has dismissed a request by the state to lift the suspension of a new finance law which would lead to significant tax increases. President William Ruto's government plans to double a fuel tax and other levies in order to increase its revenue to pay debts and fund projects. 10 days ago, the government said it was facing a budgetary crisis after a high court in Nairobi effectively halted the tax hikes. The opposition called for nationwide protests against the taxes. And Turkey's president has said his country will support Sweden's bid to join NATO if the European Union opens membership talks for his country. Recep Tayyip Erdogan said he would state his demand in the NATO summit in Lithuania later this week. He added that he had informed US President Joe Biden of his intentions. Erdogan's comments come ahead of a meeting with Sweden's Prime Minister and NATO Secretary General in the Lithuanian capital Vilnius. Turkey is a NATO member and thus has a veto over any new country joining. And we end off with this story. A non-profit organization running a soup kitchen for the needy in Kariga, Eastern Cape, says they have seen an increase in the number of beneficiaries. Mother's Gift provides food weekly in different parts of Kariga. Temperatures were below 15 degrees as a cold front hit the Eastern Cape last weekend. For some of these residents, the warm cup of soup is their first and last meal of the day. John Isaac, heading the organization, says they've been feeding the community for a number of years and now feed some 300 to 400 kids a week. Now, that's Mother's Gift stands for, to provide for these kids in need. Beautiful. I love organizations doing the most, especially with the kids in South Africa. That's your news headlines for the 6 o'clock bulletin. We'll have another round for you at 7 o'clock. Right now, here's Graham with the first round of Your Sports.
Thank you so much, Ewan. Let's kick it off with rugby news. And South Africa's second-row star, Marvin Ori, will be joining Perpignan next season on a 2-year deal. The 30-year-old started in Saturday's rugby championship win over Australia, an emphatic win at that, but will miss out on this weekend's game with New Zealand. He is likely to feature for his country at this year's Rugby World Cup in France, which ends on October the 28th, as they aim to defend the Webb Ellis Trophy, obviously. Now we turn to tennis, and top seed Carlos Alcaraz, he has underlined his status as the man likeliest to stop Novak Djokovic winning another Wimbledon title. That was after beating the 2021 finalist Matteo Berrettini. The 20-year-old fought back to win 3-6, 6-3, 6-3 and 6-3 to reach the SW19 quarterfinals for the first time. He'll face Holger Rune now, who won 3-6, 7-6, 7-6 and 6-3 against Grigor Dimitrov. And then elsewhere, Djokovic remains the man to beat and will face Andrei Rublev next. World number 2, Arina Sabalenka, she's reached the quarterfinals for the second time in her career with a straight sets win over Ekaterina Alexandrova. Then defending champion Alina Rybakina, Jessica Pegula and Iga Swiatek also into that last 8. Now we can start throwing forward to a new season in football, and new Tottenham head coach Ange Postecoglou, he says he has not had any assurances over Harry Kane's future at the club. So Sky in Germany are reporting that Bayern Munich have submitted a second bid for Kane worth 68 million euros plus add-ons, with the England captain said to be wanting to move to the Bundesliga champions. The 29-year-old has entered the final year of his Spurs contract, but Tottenham insist he is not for sale and the club would not welcome any bids for the striker. We'll certainly still watch that space. Then we move on to the track, and in athletics, Gabby Thomas ran the 6th fastest time in history as she won the women's 200 meters at the US Championships in Oregon. That's how you lay down a marker. The 26-year-old clocked 21.60 seconds. Incredible. The quickest time of the year, obviously. And she pipped Sha'Carri Richardson to that title in the doing so. The win prevented Richardson winning a sprint double after she secured the 100-meter title on Friday. So Thomas set the fastest time of the year of 21.86 in the semi-finals before the 200-meter world champion Sharika Jackson ran 21.71 at the Jamaican Championships. But Thomas responded again in the final, securing her spot at next month's World Championships. It's going to be a good year for athletics. Well, let's hope it's going to be a good day for us weather-wise. Ewan is stepping in with the latest on the weather front, possibly a few warnings that you might want to take note of.
Thank you so much, Graham. Before we get into your temperatures, a couple of weather points to get through. Gauteng residents experienced a pleasant surprise yesterday morning as snow fell over many parts of the province, and it was shared widely across social media as well. I loved it. Now, the last time snowfall was recorded in Gauteng was in 2012. The SA Weather Service says the cold conditions are expected to last until the end of the week. Now, Wits University's biometeorology expert Jennifer Fitchett says it was just below 2 degrees when snow began to fall yesterday morning. Metro rail services in Gauteng were disrupted as the freezing conditions affected the train lines rather, and infrastructure as well. And the Eastern Cape Transport Department warned drivers to approach the province's mountain passes with extreme caution as snowfalls continue to cause havoc on some of the region's roads. Snowfalls have also been reported from Mpumalanga. But we did see some beautiful scenes indeed, so please be safe out there. Right now for your temperatures, let's start off and look at Polokwane first, with a minimum of 1 degree with a maximum of 15 degrees, nice and cold. Mbombela starting off on 9 degrees minimum, your maximum 19 degrees. Pretoria starting off on 3 degrees minimum with a maximum of 17. Johannesburg 2 this morning, staying cold with a maximum of only 14 degrees. Over in Gauteng, you can expect a 0-degree minimum this morning and a maximum of 19. Klerksdorp, nice and cold, -1 with a maximum of 15. Kimberley, also very, very cold, -3 this morning with a maximum of 15 degrees. Bloemfontein starting off on 5 degrees a minimum and your maximum 16 degrees. Richards Bay starting off on 13 and your maximum 17 degrees. There's an 85% chance of rain as well. Pietermaritzburg 5 and a high of 17 degrees. Durban on 13, reaching a high of 20. And Tata on 2 minimum with a maximum of 17. East London starting off on 8 degrees minimum this morning with a maximum of 17. Cradock also starting nice and cold this morning with -1 and a maximum of only 14 degrees. GQ Gqeberha on 5 degrees minimum and a maximum of 17. George starting off on 4 degrees minimum with a maximum of 14. Cape Town 6 and a high of 16, also nice and cool in the mother city. Worcester on 6 and a high of 20. Sutherland starting off on 1 degree minimum, your maximum 14. And Uppington around 0 this morning, warming up to 20 degrees later on. Definitely nice and cold across the board for South Africa today. Right, let's get into your sunrise views this morning. Love taking a look at those. Tando, good morning in Bulawayo, capturing beautiful moments to remember bright and early. I mean, look at that. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Thank you very much. Andrew, good morning to you in Bolito. Shared a view of the sky filled with swirls of cloud. Also looks absolutely stunning. Thank you very much, Andrew. Good morning to Antoinette in Morgan Bay, showing off those pink hues radiating through the sky. Oh, what a way to wake up. Looks beautiful. And last up, we have a good morning to Karen in Westmead. Snap this ray of tangerine tones blasting up the sky. And that sunrise, look at that, sets the tone for the day for sure. Thank you very much. Always love seeing your pictures. Please continue to share those pictures with us. Our WhatsApp line, just again, put it on speed dial 0634088863. That's a wrap for your weather. Let's continue with your Tuesday morning.
Oh, baie dankie, Strydom. Well, listen, when it comes to comfort, elegance and style blend perfectly with Woolies' new range of nautical-inspired dresses that can be worn year-round. And since today is #Tuesday, I need you to help me choose between 2 dresses for this morning's show. So option 1 is this pink, and it's quite a statement midi dress. It features a puff sleeve, and it also has a belt to give it a chic look. Then option 2 is the navy print kaftan midi dress featuring cuff sleeves and a belted waist for a flattering fit. So those are the options. Option 1, pink. Option 2, navy. Which one are you going to go for? The choice is completely yours, and you only have to head on over to Expresso's social media pages to vote for your favorite nautical-inspired dress from Woolies, and don't forget to include that hashtag styled by Woolies.
Oh, we love the fact that it's all going. Watch South Africa versus Scotland live in France in a once-in-a-lifetime rugby experience brought to you by Clover. Catch the box in rugby's ultimate showpiece, hosted by Springbok legend Skulk Burger. 5 lucky winners and their partners will be winging their way to France. Plus, take a cruise to the Mediterranean island paradise of Ibiza. Buy any Clover product to enter. Watch Expresso Breakfast Show every weekday morning for more information on how you can win.
Made with love by Clover.
back. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso on S3, and it's been said that motivation will get you out of bed for a day. And a goal will get you out of bed every day. I like that saying, and this morning we are joined in studio by Andile Pei. She's a personal trainer, and she's here to share some tips on how to unlock and kickstart your fitness journey, but also to not keep you motivated, but to find that goal so that you can get out of bed every single day. Andile, we're gonna pick your brain. I'm so excited.
So good to have you, and I'm glad we're speaking about this. I want to start off with motivation versus commitment.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the one thing at the beginning of the year when we set those New Year's resolutions, we're full of motivation and we've got it. But motivation can only take you so far, right? How do you view this whole motivation versus commitment?
I don't actually believe in the whole motivation thing because it only gets you started and then it dies out. And then that's when discipline kicks in.
Yeah.
And then you just have to keep going. All I do is you just have to get it done.
So
and at the end of the day,
So I'm one of those people where discipline doesn't come natural, and I really need to work hard in being disciplined. And I think we have a lot of viewers that's also struggling to stay disciplined.
Yeah.
What's the best way we can start by being disciplined so that we can eventually have that drive to see any fitness program or anything we set our mind to through?
I would say start following a plan. Have a plan, have a workout routine, and just try to stick to it. Because if you have no plan, it's not going to work out. There's a saying that says, if you plan to fail, you plan to fail, something like that. So no plan, it won't work out.
And I think find a way for you to have some sort of accountability.
Oh, 100%.
You know, I think that is the way. If you have that supportive system, you know, or goal setting. I mean, that's one of the biggest things. So now it brings us to the point we're halfway through the year. Maybe people want to now listen. Summer is around the corner. We want to start hitting the gym. It is daunting. We know this, especially for somebody who's not been in that routine or habit.
Yeah.
How do we approach that so it doesn't scare you off? Because I've seen so many instances where people go, it's like, I've got this motivation.
Yeah.
They go full out to the gym. It lasts a week or two, and then like, nah, I can't.
It's done. For people like that, having a supportive system is very key because I thrive with people around me. I work better around, like just having people motivate you. Are you going to get it done? Just having that. So if you're a person that lacks motivation or just falls out quickly, definitely have a supportive system with you. And people that's like-minded, but also that wants to see you thrive, basically.
And it helps having that community around you. It really does.
Definitely.
Now, you're a personal trainer, and I think I love hearing what motivates you, what gets you up every single day. What are the goals you've set for yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself for your clients?
That's very important. I always try to, it's always like when you start, it's just a mental, just have to prepare yourself mentally before you start anything. Just having that mental thing that I have to get it done at the end of the day. I'm an example to my clients, so I have to keep going and keep pushing that they can see that I am also doing the work and not just talking or taking them through the exercises, but I'm also doing the work.
You've got to live the brand.
Exactly.
That is the most important. I think as with anything in life, you've got to lead by example, and that's what people are going to find that value in you as well.
Yeah.
I want to get your opinion on social media, because we know that there's a lot of fitness content out there, some crazy stuff as well. A lot of people will watch this and like, but you know, is this what I need to do to be in shape?
Yeah.
And also, I think people share a lot. You get fitness influencers, they look incredible. And you know what, people want to do that kind of workout, but they don't reach those goals. What's your opinion on fitness on social media, and how should the general public that would like to start a fitness journey look and view social media fitness?
Definitely first define your goals. What are your goals? What are you looking for? Are you looking to lose weight? Are you looking to strength train? Define your goals, and then look for reliable fitness information out there and fitness influencers or trainers that aligns with your goals. Then follow them and see how you can keep going.
It can be very demotivating because you look at these fitness influencers, you look at how incredible they're like, they do 50 crunches and you're going to go try that, but you're not going to be there. But you must keep in mind that these guys do it for a profession. They do that as a job. You know?
100%.
Can I just say, when I look at a fitness trainers, especially if they're training clients, not just themselves, My favorite is before and after pictures, or when I
yeah.
started and where I'm at now. That really gets me motivated.
Yes.
It also shows that, hey, they're helping many people along their journey, which is something I personally look for. But anyway, it's not about me. And Dile, thank you for joining us.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
How can people find you? Where, if they're looking for a personal trainer, they're like, yes, that girl's going to help me get off the couch. Where can they get in touch with you?
Definitely on Instagram, andilepe_PT. And then Fit Freak, that's where I am. That's where my home is. We have group classes, amazing group classes, so supportive systems there as well.
Very awesome. It's Fit Freak in Claremont.
Yes.
And listen, stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show, because today is all about getting you excited and motivated for summer.
And possibly about finding your tribe. It does help to have a community getting you moving, and we are all about the fitness today. So CrossFit, I think, is a training philosophy that a lot of people have encountered. It coaches people all shapes, sizes, to improve physical well-being and cardiovascular fitness in a pretty hardcore, yet I've got to say very welcoming and accepting, encouraging environment. So our fit bunny herself, Kutle Adams, out in Johannesburg, is about to learn all there is about this kind of training, and she's going to be put to the test. Take a look.
What's happening, everybody? I hope that you are feeling good this morning. We are coming to you all charged up and ready to move our bodies at the Greenside CrossFit at Pirates Club in Johannesburg with CrossFit trainer Chris, who's about to take us through a full body workout. But I do know, Chris, that a lot of people are intimidated by the CrossFit workouts, but that doesn't have to be the case, okay? As long as you commit and you apply yourself, you can reap the maximum benefits. Chris, please take us through today's workout format.
So this morning we're going to start with 3 types of leg exercise for everyone. You can use the same format for it, which is 20 seconds of work with 10 seconds of rest for 8 rounds. We're going to start with a standard squat, and then I'm going to show you something a little bit more advanced. Okay, feet hip width apart, chest up. I want you to push your hips back and down and just go as low as your mobility will allow, and back up to a neutral standing position.
The posture is always a struggle for many people. Sometimes when you squat, the knees go over the toes.
Correct. What you kind of want to do is wherever your toes are pointing, that's where you want your knees to go. It just stops the knees from caving in like that.
Yes.
And creates a more stable position at the bottom. If you want to take it up a notch, you can do a jumping squat.
Okay.
So you're going to squat down to the same depth again, but this time you're just going to jump up like that. And as you land, going straight back down into that squat.
I
So
feel
that-
like I'm going to stick to the simple one for now, and then
Perfect.
the more we do it, I'm pretty sure I'm going to advance, right? Let's go. 1. I feel like
Yeah,
I
you should
am
be
being
feeling it
left
in your
behind.
quads. Yeah, that's
100%. Now, I need to know, when you get to this part, Chris, what do you do with the rest of your body?
Good question. Your hands you can sort of keep at your side. As you squat down, bring them up to the front here. And just make sure you're standing all the way up to a neutral standing position at the top of the position.
Cool.
Let's move on to the next one, lunges.
Yeah.
You're going to start with your feet again, hip width apart, hands on hips. And you're just going to step back about 1 meter. Keep that core nice and tight. The back knee lightly touches the ground. And then step up, bring your feet together, and then the other side. Alternating for the 20 seconds. There we go. Nice. Keep a nice upright chest as well.
Posture is
Great stuff,
important.
Christine, yeah. Let's rest quickly. Okay, so the next one, the more advanced one, is a jumping lunge. So you'll step back into that lunge position, but from here, you're just going to jump and switch your feet around straight into that next lunge like that.
I'm actually going to try this one, Chris.
Give it a bash. Let's go. Okay, and
1.
switch the feet. Nice. Well done. There you go.
It's the balance for me.
Yeah. And you definitely should feel a bit more of a burn, and it also gets the heart rate going a bit more as well.
I can feel like I'm getting into it right now. I'm ready for the next one.
The next one is just a standard calf raise, just to work your calf muscles. On the spot, you can have your hands on your hips, and you're just going to come up onto your tiptoes and back down to the floor.
I can feel that.
Good. Another place you can do this is on your staircase, which allows your heel to dip below ground level, just to get a bit more range of motion. And if you want to take it up a notch, feel free to grab some weights, have them at your side, or if you don't have weights at home, grab some odd object, hold it on your kid or your pet or something like that to help out.
Now to the core.
you're going to start with your soles of your feet together, bring your heels as close to your body as you can. You're going to roll back down onto your back, touch the floor behind your head, throw your hands forward, come up and touch your toes. Make sure your shoulders are above your hips at the top of the movement.
But how can I prevent my feet from lifting when I'm trying to project forward?
I would just be conscious about keeping them tucked in as close to your body as you can.
Got it. Whew, let's go.
Let's do it.
And
Really throw your arms forward just to help get momentum and get your body up there. There we go. Nice.
am I gonna get a six-pack from this exercise?
This and a combination of clean eating and you will be there.
All good.
Can I show you an easier version?
Yes, please. I feel like that one is for me.
So, feet flat on the floor, knees bent, again, back on the floor, and from here you're just going to crunch up by taking the upper part of your back off the floor. So we're not having to go all the way up, we're just going sort of a quarter of the way up.
As much as it's much more manageable, I am definitely feeling it in my core.
Okay, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more, and to the ground.
I felt that right here in the center.
Okay, so let's work the lower abs now. We're going to do leg raises, hands underneath the bum, extending both legs out together, and then from here, you're going to raise your feet up to above your hips, and then back down to the floor, but I don't want you to touch the floor. I want your feet hovering above the ground at the bottom. And back up. There we go. Okay, 3 more. 2 more. Last one. 1. And up
That
to
was just a bonus one.
yeah, so you should have an 8-pack by now.
Absolutely, Chris. I am putting in the work this morning at Greenside CrossFit at Pirate Sports Club out here in Johannesburg. Chris has been taking me through the paces. We started out with a leg workout. Now we've just engaged the core. And I hope that you at home have learned a thing or two just like me. But this is us out here at Greenside CrossFit at Pirate Sports Club. From myself, Akutla Adams, and CrossFit trainer Chris. Till next time.
Oh, why are you giggling, Kutle? You absolutely smashed that. I love that. We have engaged the core. Hopefully the same can be said of you. Well done to Chris and all those amazing personal trainers and those fitness experts driving us forward. Just like this awesome individual, Seb Prentice. I think a tome of knowledge in all things physical, but also mental as well. This guy, we lean on him all the time. Today, he is going to take you through your paces and 1 or 2 of us as well. Stick around. It's all about fitness on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Let's get you up and moving.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties, as we get you up and moving. And sometimes you need a community to motivate you, from buying the right running shoes, maybe figuring out the right trails, to joining gyms, even fussing over which water bottles to buy. Starting your fitness journey can be a little intimidating, but where there is community, there is strength.
And it doesn't have to be intimidating, because communities such as Mindset Movement is a great testimony to just that. And we have founder of Mindset Movement, Carl Evans, in studio, and fitness coach Didier de Villiers to tell us a little bit more. Gentlemen, it's great to have you here. And Carl, I'm going to start off with you. Mindset Movement, what is it all about? And you said this is for runners.
Yeah, so it's mainly for runners. We also have walkers and hikers, anyone that wants to start. What I did is I was very big into weight training when I was living in Dubai, and I got a bit bored of it, so I decided to sign up for an ultra marathon.
As one does. Yeah.
After reading a book.
In the hottest place on the planet. Yeah, let's just do it. Yeah.
I didn't know how to train for it, so I joined the coach, and they had a community, and the things that I learned there like completely changed my life. Because when you train for ultra marathons, you learn tools to get over adversity, and then that transcended into my life. And then when we came back to Cape Town, me and my wife, in COVID, what I was picking up on social media and what people were saying, you know, people getting depressed and about losing their jobs and all that stuff, I literally said to my wife, I was like, these people need to run ultra marathons. Like, this wouldn't bother them.
Need a Forrest Gump this, come on. It's just
And then I just thought, you know, how can I, not everyone's going to run an ultra marathon, but how can I create something where they will build these tools to deal with what life throws at them? You know, when you train for an ultra marathon, you up early. Sometimes I used to run at like 2:30 in the morning just to get it in before work.
Yeah.
You know, you always
need time on the road.
You always got to run in the rain. You know, you can't go out drinking on a Friday night with your friends because you got to run on the Saturday. You learn how to say no to people. You learn to say no to stuff that doesn't serve you. You know.
I love that.
So what I did is I created early mornings, and people said to me, "It's never going to work, right? This is Cape Town. Who is going to run at 5 o'clock in the morning?" And it took a while to take off. But now, I mean,
you've got a
taken off, yeah.
You've got a movement, and I think it's so vital for people to understand this correlation. If you run 2 more meters than you did yesterday, your brain registers that as a success. Yeah. You run another 100 meters, your brain takes that as a success. Through movement, you can reinforce the positive in a way that is so accessible. Why do you think, Didier, it's so difficult to get people moving or to cross this when we know what it can give us, that fitness journey? Why do you think people are struggling to crest that?
So I think this is something that we see a lot with new clients that join us. People have this idea about exercise that it needs to be difficult, it needs to be intense.
Like punitive, punishment.
Punitive, and they go at it way too hard. And so if you're not able to, so our advice is always, and we really try hard with our clients, take it easy, learn how to run slowly, learn how to enjoy the process of running.
This ain't a sprint.
Hey?
This ain't a sprint.
Exactly, yeah, it's an ultra marathon. So, and if you can do that, and you can build and progress slowly and make it sustainable in your life, like people that they make a vow, I want to get fit, they join a CrossFit class, or they run a 10K at maximum effort, they think that was horrible, I'm never going to do that again.
Well, I can't do it again.
Yeah, whereas just, if you just start slow and you take it easy, like, you can really get far. And within it's amazing. You can go from not running to within a year running an ultramarathon.
Doing amazing things. I mean, Gerard de Seine only started running as an adult. Yeah. I mean, let's get real, yeah.
I love that, because you have to also be realistic as to how much time you give yourself to achieve a goal. I think it's going to be impossible to do something like that in a short space of time if you want to have the longevity for it. So today's show is all about getting people motivated to start fitness, and perhaps, Carl, you're the best person to ask that for. How would you encourage our viewers to perhaps, you know, dust off the running shoes and join you guys?
You know, I think it's just about starting and just what, you know, you need to focus on the process and not the end result. I think with social media these days, it can be very fake, you know, and these people are looking at people in their best condition or maybe...
Doctored.
I know, yeah. I've got bodybuilding friends that do full photo shoots when they're in thing and then they just post it throughout the year on their off season. Do you know what I mean? And people get a bit insecure about that. I just encourage my clients, I actually encourage my clients to get off social media when they're starting. Don't worry about what this person's doing. Don't worry about how fast this person's running. If you want to just come and walk, you know, just start walking.
Just move.
You know, and then with our community, I've built a community that's very supportive. And some people get a bit intimidated by it because I have got some really hardcore ultra runners. But like I say to my new clients, they're the first people that will help you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because they know what you're going through. And to be honest, like, on the weekend, there was this Nautical Forest Marathon. I had a client that ran like a 3 hour, 10 minute, okay? It's really fast, okay? But I had another lady who's been suffering with anxiety and a bit of depression, and she did a 21K. It took her 3.5 hours. I'm just so proud of her for...
Smashing it, yeah.
For getting out of her house, just get into Nautical. Like, it's sometimes hard to get her to get to a session. You know, I think you just got to get to the session. There's people around you that are going to support you, and just do your best, you know?
And you get to meditate out on that road, and when you're at your weakest, it's amazing what just a little bit of support in those critical moments on someone like that, where it's a mental and physical challenge, set for life. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for pouring the energy that you are into other people and helping them move. It is the key. We have done so many interviews with amazing exponents of health, of wellness, mental stability, physical well-being. The one common thread, movement. So let's get moving right now.
Let's get moving indeed. You know what? You want to be successful in your fitness journey, like Carl and Didier said, join up with a community of like-minded people and just take that first step. Stick around here for your Good Breakfast Show for more fitness inspiration. Right now, though, let's give away some money. It is time for your Panado Dose of Care.
Introducing new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5ml sachets. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever, anytime, anywhere.
Now, a son is a father's pride and joy. I can testify to that. A source of endless love that fills his heart with happiness and fulfillment. Now, Panado gave you the chance to nominate your amazing son for a special dose of care to the value of 2,000 Rand cash, and we are so excited this morning to announce our next winner. So let's have a huge congratulations to today's lucky winner, Boykano Rakhorowane. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. This is fantastic. We love giving away some money for a good cause. And Dad Maloka commented saying, he is always so funny, clever, and happy. I can't get enough of his company. He really knows how to cheer me up and make my day. That puts a smile on my face. Hashtag Panado SA and hashtag a dose of care. We have Maloka on the line. Maloka, good morning.
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, good, good. Thank you very much for tuning in nice and early. Thanks for that incredible nomination. It really warms my heart. Tell me a bit about your son and how he influenced you to be a better person and you know, taught you those valuable lessons as a dad.
Oh, yeah, my son is so fun, amazing. He's always happy. Like, we bond together. We are friends. We talk anything, always.
And tell me, I know that you spend a lot of time with your son because it does sound that you are a fantastic dad. What do you guys enjoy together?
Like, when we play with toys, we want to come to watch cartoons, we watch movies together, everything we do together.
And listen, is that him in the background?
Yes.
It's nice and chatty and nice and early. Listen, Maloka, as a father, we want our boys to grow up as solid young men. What are your hopes and your dreams for your son?
Like, but there is for I want to be there always for him until he reaches his leadership level. So for now, I want to be there for him always.
Absolutely. Maloka, thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. That Panado Dose of Care of 2,000 Rand is on its way to you, my friend. Thank you very much for being part of our Feel Good family.
Thank you very much.
Have a wonderful day. I mean, I love that. So you at home, you can show your appreciation for your son and tell him how much you love him and care for him as well with the Panado Dose of Care worth 2,000 Rand.
Being a parent can be challenging, but stepping out is when things get real complicated. That's why new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5 ml sachets are here to make the job easier. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever, anytime, anywhere. Panado, a dose of care.
Now you can generously give a voice to Storytime. Visit our library of homegrown audio stories at cadbury.co.za.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for keeping it dialed in. Today's show might just change your life or reignite it. Fitness is that key that unlocks the door to a world of self-care, well-being, balance, that balance that we are striving for. And when we prioritize our physical health, we pave the way for a stronger mind, a happier heart, and a more vibrant spirit, just like the one sitting on our couch this morning. Here to unpack this topic further is fitness impactor. I'm not going to even call him an influencer, and gym owner Sebastian Prentice. Seb Prentice, as we know him, or the younger brother of Seb. I don't know, where's Seb today? No, you look fresh, ready to tackle the day like you do every single day, dude. Thanks so much for being here, boy.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, you know, I love picking brains because for some people, this is very obvious. And when I say some people, people that are already in their fitness routine.
Sure.
For others, like myself, that dabble in it and then lose the drive to see it through. What are some of the key benefits of incorporating fitness into your self-care routine?
I think fitness is such a catalyst for other areas of our lives. And as the mindset movement guys were saying, it helps you start making decisions that serve you. It helps you live a more intentional life. When you start prioritizing your fitness and thinking about your fitness more, the decisions you make are more intentional, and that helps guide you a little bit more in life. And I think having that gravity pole and that guidance, whether it's from fitness or from anything else, it's very healthy for you, mentally and physically.
Because you can control it. I think so
Totally.
much in life, you kind of see the top of the mountain, and to use the analogy for the 1000th time, and it feels impossible because it's up there. Take that first step and you're reinforcing that same positive notion, but it's that first step that can often be the most daunting or the most intimidating. What do you recommend? Because it's difficult to know with you where the journey begins. It always feels like it's in the mind, not the body. Or does it take the first step? Where does it start?
I think the first step, it helps to have it be something that you have an interest in. So try and tie in your fitness journey to something that might interest you, like
An enjoyment level.
Yes, whether it's be or just give it a why. So I want to be a better friend or a better father or something like that. Tie it to that. If I'm healthier, I can fulfill that better, and then make it small, make it nice and small, make it very achievable, and something that you can do day after day after day, instead of really focusing on this daunting goal. Break it down into its parts and just take it one day at a time.
But I love that. Weave in the purpose, because that gives you your true north, your polarity.
Exactly.
I love that, man.
And that will also keep you driven and motivated. Now, Seb, let's find out, or how can we encourage people to, by all means, set these goals, but then also be mindful and find that balance between their own limitations, or to be patient with themselves.
What limitations, Zoe?
Well, I'm trying to be a realist here. Like how we can find that balance, but then also set the goals to move those limitations further and further away.
I think the limitation thing, it's an interesting one, and you don't really know your limitations until you take yourself to a point where you don't reach what you're trying to reach, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's perfectly fine. So I think playing around with trying to push yourself a little bit harder than maybe you did the day before, seeing how you feel, seeing how you respond to that physically and psychologically, and then maybe dialing it back if it was a little bit too much for you, or taking a little bit further the next time. It's a thing of trial and error, trying to figure out the balance between setting goals and figuring out where your limitations are.
And I think you're lucky in this fitness journey, there is a collective pull. So take on the big races, take on the big events, enter into those moments, because there's other people pulling you as well. There's a community, but there's this extra 10% that you find in those moments that the body can unlock. It's the day-to-day unlocking that interests me the most. You've been there for this moment of transition, becoming, if you will, of so many people's fitness journey. What mental shift do you see, have you seen in yourself and in your clients when they embark on this journey, when they move?
I would definitely go back to the thing of seeing people living a more intentional life. Because as soon as you prioritize something like movement, where you need to rest, it's not just the movement, there are other things that support the movement. You live with more direction. And I just see people thinking more and being more present. Why am I actually doing this thing? Why am I deciding to spend time doing this? Is it supporting me in what I'm trying to achieve? And it goes from the fitness and it spreads throughout the rest of their lives,
I'm so glad you've made fitness your purpose, my friend, and that you are sharing it with so many of us. Well, I use the term us very lightly with Ewan this morning, because Ewan is going to be put through his paces. I think the first key message here is just take that first step, but it does help if you've got someone in your corner, and we are here for you today. And Ewan, good luck, buddy.
Thanks, buddy boy. It was a workout in itself to change into my fitness gear this morning, but right, I'm ready because it's nice and cold. Now, remember, self-care is a fun-filled journey of self-love and, of course, some squats as well. Now, when you invest in your well-being, you treat yourself to the ultimate dance party of life. Now, Sebastian Prentice, he's here. We've just seen him with an awesome workout to get us feeling absolutely energized. Meneer, good morning.
Morning, you.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
I should have dressed a bit warmer. That's how I am.
Chilly,
A little bit. What do you have in store for us today, man? Because we want to move, we want to just get the blood flowing this morning.
Yes.
We encourage all of you out there as well. Yes, you, to join us. Get up there. Let's get the blood flowing.
Exactly. So going to get that blood flowing, great way to get nice and warm, full body workouts, 3 basic exercises.
Okay.
And we're going to do 20 seconds of each exercise, take a 1-minute rest, and repeat. So the first exercise that we're going to do, as you mentioned, we're going to do some squats. So try get nice and deep. With squats, it's quite a subjective movement. It depends on what your dimensions are. So kind of feel it out, whether it means turning your toes a bit more in, a bit more out, wider, narrower, whatever feels comfortable for you, because it depends. Okay? We're going to do that for 20 seconds.
Nice.
Another
so
thing
we
with-
take it nice and slow, though.
Nice and slow. Another thing with squats, if you struggle to do a full depth squat,
get something to sit on, a chair, the edge of your bed if you're just getting up in the morning. Just sit up off of that.
There we
That's
go.
called a box.
Form is also, of course, very important when you do these
important.
exercises. So make sure if you're not 100% sure, just connect with somebody and check your form.
Yes, and a key thing for form, knees and toes are in line together.
There we go.
So 20 seconds of that.
Okay.
Then we move on to our next exercise. Bread and butter exercise 2, a push-up. So 20 seconds of the push-ups, engaging your core. Also squeeze your glutes a little bit to keep your body nice and flat. If it's too challenging for you to do a full push-up, you can go onto your knees, okay?
Right.
And alternatively, if off your knees it's too difficult, you can stand up against the wall and push.
And start like that.
Then start
and
like
progress.
that. Exactly.
Progress down. Okay. I love the fact that you're sticking to the basics.
The basics.
We spoke about social media fitness earlier. There's crazy exercises out there, but I think for the general population, stick to the basics. Fantastic exercise.
Totally.
All right.
And then the last one for 20 seconds before we take our rest is we are going to high plank it. So we're up like this, same position as the push-up. You're just staying in one position like this.
Engage the core.
Engaging the core.
That's it.
And again, another scaled version. If it's too difficult, go onto your knees and just tap those shoulders. Like that. Squeezing that core. Really focusing on keeping tight here. And that's
So 20 seconds per exercise.
20 seconds per exercise, and you take a minute rest, and then you repeat that.
That's it. All right. Well, let's go through it one more time, nice and fast. Now we know. All right, here we go.
So our squats. Do 20 seconds of those.
That's it. Just a couple of squats already. You can feel the muscles start burning and working.
Exactly. And then down into our push-ups. Keeping the movements nice and controlled. Don't rush it.
That's it. Because you want that, what we call time under tension.
Exactly.
Right.
And then into our high plank.
And hold it. Which
And
is great after the push-ups because already you're fatigued.
Those shoulders are going to be burning quite a bit now.
Yeah, and of course here's where the core would normally start dripping and falling.
Exactly.
So squeeze the glutes and just keep that core straight, right?
Precisely, Ewan.
Nicely done, dude. Seb, this is nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, let's get up here. Perfect stuff.
Awesome.
Already, you can feel the blood just flowing and the lungs start work.
Exactly.
Nice.
I'm sure you're
Stick to
feeling a
the
bit warmer now
basics.
too.
Absolutely. Oh, I feel great. Feel great. Thank you. Stick to the basics. Now remember, you're not just building muscles, you are building a life. We're celebrating one energetic step at a time. Just take that first step. Now remember, you too can master your game, win one of 10 masterclass subscriptions valued at 3,000 Rand each to help you up your skills. All you need to do is simply head over to the website masteryourlook.co.za, find the competition post and answer the following question. If you could master any skill, what would it be? Now don't forget to add that hashtag BigFlex and also hashtag MasterYourLook. T's and C's can be found on masteryourlook.co.za.
Oh, straight on. I feel like you just mastered doing an outro while doing fitness. That takes some serious skill. But stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show. When we get back, we're going to put the spotlight on food habits. We're going to take a look at food versus supplements. And of course, Varsity Netball gearing up towards some exciting things. So stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show.
Are you the face? We're looking for 3 fabulous women to be the face of GynaGuard. Win a Fiat 500, 50,000 Rand cash, CoverGirl status, and so much more. To enter, buy and try any GynaGuard product and tell us about it at faceofgynaguard.co.za. You could be the one.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties, and thank you in advance for your help choosing Zoe's exquisite outfit this morning. 2 beautiful midi dresses coming from 2 different polarities when it comes from a color perspective, but both with kind of a nautical theme, which is so hot right now. So we had the striking pink belted dress, which I would imagine is so hot right now, and a lot of people would have loved that. And then we've got this gorgeous navy caftan midi dress as well. I think the style will look great on Zoe. It's just down to your preference. So let's take a look and see what y'all said. Belinda Rolandi saying, good morning, beautiful Expresso family. Right back at you. Option 2 will look stunning. May you all have a wonderful day. You have a wonderful day yourself. Jackie Viviers saying, good morning, Expresso fam. Option 2 would look so smart and beautiful. Styled by Woodies. Great emoji use this morning. Vulwetu saying, 2, a navy printed caftan midi dress. Definitely navy. Wow, I don't know if they're just loving Zoe's skin tone with this dress, if it's just the style, if it's the trend. Odd was saying 2, 2, 2. Wow, I thought the pink dress would at least put a hand up, but it seems like we have one absolutely dominant winner. Let's bring her in. Almost wearing the dress.
She's almost wearing the dress, only because she's got fitness coming up pretty soon. So this is the one that won. And you know what? I find it very cute because Woolies is going with the more nautical theme, and these dresses can be worn all year round. And if you know, I have 2 cats, and my first cat also the nautical theme Sailor, and then the little girl's name's Navy, so it's very fitting that the navy dress won.
Yeah, look, either people know you way too much and stalker vibes, or they just know what you like.
Navy's a good color and
it's
a good name.
Color. And it vibes with your skin tone. It's gorgeous, man. And the midi dress is, I think, a staple that you can wear in so many different occasions. Beautiful.
I'm looking forward to jumping into this dress. First, I've got a bit of fitness to do. Then I'll be rocking this beautiful dress. But we are going to catch up with your morning headlines. And this is the true beauty of behind the scenes on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Because Ewan Strydom, who just did fitness, is about to deliver your news looking oh so professionally.
One half.
I know. Look, I mean, look at this. Look at this. Like, I think it's great. But eyes up here, people, please. Eyes up here, just waist above. Thank you very much. Let's get into your news headlines for the morning. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. In your national news headlines this morning, the driver of a vehicle involved in a fatal accident on the N1 between Brackenfell Boulevard and the R300 off-ramp near Cape Town has been arrested on a charge of culpable homicide. Now, 5 children were killed and 6 injured when the vehicle hit a barrier. It's reported that 11 people were in the vehicle. Meanwhile, a 6th learner involved in a fatal accident in Mitchell's Plain near Cape Town in May has died in hospital. 5 other learners from Khayelitsha were fatally injured in the same accidents. Please, we've got to be careful on the roads. And 3 trucks have been torched by unknown suspects on the R574 between Lydenburg and Sekhukhune in Limpopo. Now, Limpopo police spokesperson Malisela Ledwaba says a group of 6 gunmen stopped the truck drivers and ordered them to disembark their vehicles. The gunmen then proceeded to torch the trucks before fleeing the scene. Now, this incident follows the torching of 12 trucks in separate incidents in Mpumalanga and KwaZulu-Natal some 2 days ago. Ledwaba says the motive behind the incidents is not known. Making international news headlines this morning, US President Joe Biden has described relations with the, with the UK as rock solid during talks in London with Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. Now, they discussed a US move to give Ukraine controversial cluster bombs to defend itself against Russia. Now, all 31 NATO members attending the summit in Vilnius, Lithuania, agreed that Ukraine cannot join the military alliance during the war, as this could bring direct conflict with Russia. Ukrainian President Zelensky has said he doesn't expect Kiev to join the bloc until after the war, but he wishes the summit to give a clear signal on Ukraine's bid. And in a blow to the Kenyan government, a court has dismissed a request by the state to lift the suspension of a new finance law, which would lead to significant tax increases. President William Ruto's government plans to double a fuel tax and other levies in order to increase its revenue to pay debts and fund projects. Now, 10 days ago, the government said it was facing a budgetary crisis after a high court in Nairobi effectively halted the tax hikes. The opposition called for nationwide protests against the taxes. And we end off with this rather cute story. As if they are not cute, clever, and lovable enough, comes the news that new examinations of dolphin vocalizations have found that mother bottlenose dolphins whistle at a higher pitch when talking to their offspring. Now, highlights from the study reveal the finding to be a robust one, including that the dolphins only use their baby talk voice with their calves in situations that aren't stressful. Now, the study was conducted off the coast of Sarasota in Florida, US, with a mother-calf pairings that were herded into a wide ocean-going enclosure, while the animals were monitored to ensure that they weren't stressed. And they are some of the most beautiful animals out there. I love this new findings. That's your news headlines for the 7 o'clock bulletin. We'll be back with one more update at 8 o'clock.
Absolutely exquisite from the waist up, my friend. Let's start our sports report with some rugby news. And South African second row star Marvin Orrie will join Pepignon next season on a 2-year deal. So the 30-year-old started in Saturday's rugby championship win over Australia, but will miss out on this weekend's game with New Zealand. He is likely to feature for his country at this year's Rugby World Cup in France as well. That, of course, ends on October the 28th as they aim to defend the Webb Ellis Trophy. So he's having quite a year. Now we turn to tennis and top seed Carlos Alcaraz. He's underlined his status as the man most likely to stop Novak Djokovic winning another Wimbledon title. It was after beating the 2021 finalist Matteo Berrettini. The 20-year-old fought back to win 3-6, 6-3, 6-3 and 6-3 to reach the SW19 quarterfinals for the first time, where he will now face Holger Rune, who won his encounter 3-6, 7-6, 7-6 and 6-3 against Grigor Dimitrov. Then Djokovic remains the man to beat, and he'll face up against Andrei Rublev next. Then on the women's draw, world number 2, Arina Sabalenka, she reached the quarterfinals for the second time with a straight sets win over Ekaterina Alexandrova. Then defending champion Elena Rybakina, Jessica Pegula and Iga Swiatek are also through to that last 8, so quite a strong field. Now we throw forward to the impending football season and a few question marks as new Tottenham head coach Ange Postecoglou says he has, quote, not had any assurances over Harry Kane's future at the club. So Sky in Germany are reporting that Bayern Munich have submitted a second bid for Kane now worth some £68 million plus add-ons, with the England captain said to be wanting to move to the Bundesliga champions. The 29-year-old has entered the final year of his Spurs contract, but Tottenham insists that he is not for sale and the club would not welcome any bids for the striker. Now we turn to athletics and a moment in history as Gabby Thomas ran the 6th fastest time in history as she won the women's 200-meter event at the US Championships in Oregon. The 26-year-old clocking an incredible time of 21.6 seconds, the quickest time of the year, pipping Sha'Carri Richardson to that title. And the win prevented Richardson winning a sprint double after she secured the 100-meter title on last Friday. And Thomas set the fastest time of the year at 21.86 in the semi-finals before the 200-meter world champion Sharika Jackson ran 21.71 at the Jamaican Championships. But Thomas responded again in that final, securing her spot at next month's World Championships, which I think is going to be one for the history books. All the athletes hitting their straps at just the right time. Well, hopefully the roads aren't looking too crazy at this early stage, but let's get you to work safely with Zoe.
Thank you, Graham. Let's start off with traffic in Bedfordview, Johannesburg. Excuse me. There's a stationary vehicle on the N3 southbound. It's at Van Buren Road. The left lane is closed and there's currently free-flowing traffic, but please approach with caution. If you're in Mpumalanga, there is snow causing heavy delays and slippery roads at the Long Tom Pass. Please try use an alternative route this morning and please stay safe on the roads. And staying in Mpumalanga, we also received this video. It was sent in yesterday of the snow starting to fall. What an experience. If you are in that region, stay warm and please be safe. Well, that's your traffic. Let's take another look at your weather. And we start off with Johannesburg Emergency Management Services have urged residents to be extra cautious when using heating appliances to warm themselves and to avoid the fire incidents at all costs. This as extreme cold temperatures are expected to persist in most parts of the country over the next few days, with snow in high-lying areas. These conditions are expected to last until the end of the week. Joburg EMS spokesperson Nana Radebe has urged parents and guardians to ensure that children are supervised when using heaters and stoves. She said it was around this time when they respond to many fires and record high numbers of fatalities. She urged communities to take the necessary precautions when dealing with heating appliances and not to leave heaters and stoves unattended. Let's take a look at today's temperatures and brace yourself, South Africa. Starting off in Polokwane, your lowest 1, your high 15. Mbombela 9 with a high of 19. Pretoria 3 reaching a high of 17 for today. Johannesburg 2 with a high of 14. Mahikeng 0 with a high of 19. Klerksdorp -1 reaching a high of 15. Kimberley -3 with a high of 15. If you're in Bloemfontein, -5's your low, 16 your high. Rainy conditions for Richards Bay, 13 with a high of 17. Pietermaritzburg 5, 17. Durban 13 with a high of 20 degrees Celsius today. If you're in Mthatha, 2's your low, 17 your high. East London 8, 17. Cradock -1 with a high of 14. Kabeja sunny but cold, a low of 5, a high of 17. George 4 reaching a high of 14 for today. Cape Town cold but sunny, a low of 6, a high of 16. Worcester, your low is 6, your high 20. Sutherland 1 with a high of 14, and Uppington a low of 0 and a high of 20 degrees Celsius. Well, those are your temperatures for today. Let's take a look at those sunrise views. Let's head on over to Durbs. Gavin is kicking us off for our 7 a.m. update with this photo of his balcony overlooking the city. Frederick in Somerset shared this moment of the bold purple hues glimmering up the sky. Oh, that is a beautiful photo. Desiree in Pietermaritzburg is enjoying the pretty pops of pink and shared this beautiful photo with us. And Lena in Durban sent through this video. Look at the sky this morning, really showing off as the sun rises. Well, thank you for that video, Lena. And if you have a beautiful sunrise view to share with us, please do so on our WhatsApp line. Our number is 063 408 8863.
Thank you so much, Zoe. We're going to take a very quick break. Stay right where you are and get ready to get the blood flowing after the break as we take you through our wonderful netball-inspired workout with Zoe. And also, we're going to be focusing on healthy eating habits when you decide to embark on a fitness journey. The ins and outs, what do you need to know? Stick around for that chat also after the break. We'll see you just now.
Making a cappuccino with thick creamy froth is now impressively easy. Jacobs. info.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You're tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on S3 with a rather inspirational Thursday morning show. Now, we are shifting gears right now and getting serious about our health this morning with registered dietitian Kerry CD discussing healthy eating habits. Kerry, it's lovely to have you, and I'm glad we're talking about this because this continues to be a topic I think that stresses people out, that confuses people with so much different information out there. So maybe let's start off with the fact that if there's people out there right now, it's halfway through the year, summer is on the way, they want to start making a change, they want to enjoy themselves and feeling good in summer. With regards to diet, how do we approach that? How do we start just changing our diet so that we can do it, I think, in a sustainable manner?
Yes. So it's so important that one adopts a new lifestyle in terms of dietary change. So it's like we were chatting about earlier, it's not about a quick fix. It's about, making it a part of your life. And also, when you're embarking on a new gym training program, you've also got to think to yourself, what are your goals? Are you wanting to drop body fat? Are you wanting to increase lean muscle? And then also seeking the help of people that know what they're doing, So if you're new to gym, hooking up with a trainer, getting a good training program so that you don't injure when you start training. And also from a dietary point of view, getting help from a dietitian in terms of helping you achieve your goals, whether it's dropping body fat or increasing lean muscle.
I love what you said there. This is not a quick fix. We can't view this transformation as a quick fix. This is a process, it is a journey, it is a lifestyle change that you have to make. I also do know that when you start changing and adapting your diet, you might eat things that you're not maybe used to. You might suffer from hunger cravings at some point during your journey as well.
Yes.
What's the best advice that you can give towards that? Because the minute a hunger craving starts, I mean, people tend to reach for whatever's in the cupboard.
No, for sure. You want to avoid getting to that point where you go on like a proper binge.
Which is detrimental to your ultimate goal.
So we always say to patients as well, don't go shopping when you're very hungry, because then you tend to make bad choices in terms of you just grab whatever you see. So the main thing with hunger as well, if you're on calorie restriction, is also to keep up your fluid requirements. So the part of your brain that processes hunger and thirst is actually in the same center. So one can be a combination of hungry and thirsty, but you feel that feeling up with food alone. So generally, if you're wanting to work out your fluid requirements, we look at 30 mils of fluid per kilogram body weight.
Okay.
So it's so important to meet those fluid requirements. So if you're 60 kilograms, we're looking at about 1.8 liters a day, So, and also things like filling up with besides in winter, it also helps to fill up with warm liquids.
Yeah.
But just the main thing with that is if you're wanting to keep your body weight down is just not to add sugar.
There we go.
Or honey,
Look, it really is about those small changes in diet that can bring about a massive change.
Yes.
But I want to also ask people now start asking, okay, so when is the best time to eat? Now I'm embarking on a fitness journey, I'm going to the gym. Is there a good time to eat? Is it after gym, before sleep? How does it all work?
So our bodies balance ourselves over a 7-day period. So it's more about energy in versus out over those 7 days rather than when we're eating. So the fallacy with eating late at night is actually not true. It's just that people that are snacking late at night, it's normally going for like the crisps and the biscuits and the unhealthy stuff. So it's really about energy balance, what you've taken in versus what you've burnt over a long period of time. That's why we generally weigh patients sort of once a week, because it's about that energy balance.
Yeah, and also look at foods that can satiate you, that stop those hunger cravings.
So your low GI.
I think that people don't get enough protein in their diet in general. That's why they have those cravings reoccurring. Now I want to talk about the topic of protein supplementation.
Yes.
I think a lot of people might view that, if I'm hungry, I'll just grab a protein shake very quickly. What's your view on protein supplementation and how should people look at it to add it as part of their nutritional journey?
Yes. So depending on what your goals are, so if you're wanting to increase lean muscle, or if you're wanting to look for muscle recovery post, like sort of weight training or gym training, protein shakes do play a role. Your muscles are most active, able to recover within 30 minutes after your session. So it's making sure to have that shake, directly within those 30 minutes post-training.
Yeah.
But for people wanting to drop body fat, I find it's counterproductive. So that's where protein shakes, I wouldn't advocate them, because now you've burnt your 300 calories, but now you're putting in extra calories through something you don't need.
Yeah.
So I often find a lot of, especially women, struggle because a lot of trainers will advocate sort of protein shakes post-training, and they actually struggle to lose weight because of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's also not something that you can fall back on to replace a meal, because it's not
No.
essentially a meal replacement. It's to get, enough protein in your body for the
Yes.
rebuilding and recovery of muscle, which is very important. So you've
Yeah,
got to know
sure.
also, with so many products out there, you've got to know exactly which ones to go for.
Yes.
That's the most important one. Kerry, thank you very much. I think that was very informative. I can sit and chat to you for an entire day about all this stuff. It's fascinating. So there we have it. We absolutely love connecting with industry experts like Kerry, just to give us that bit of advice. But like she said, this is not a quick fix. If you want to really make a change your lifestyle and do it over a period of time, adopt that and continue living your life as such.
Nice one. Thank you, Kerry. The check's in the mail. Now, we know that there are no fast forwards when it comes to your fitness journey, but when it comes to top-tier netball, varsity netball is that fast track. So the varsity netball competition ran from the 3rd to the 8th of July at Stellenbosch University, and it did not disappoint, with some of the best university teams battling for top honours. Now, here's the kicker. University teams have been feeder teams for the Proteas national team. That's how well-watched this league is. And, of course, to the teams in the local netball league here in South Africa as well. And with the World Cup taking place at the end of this month, just days away, we look at the next generation of stars and how tournaments like these develop their talent.
The USA Netball tournament is a national tournament. We have 26 institutions that are participating. It's a tournament where the first teams and some institutions may have a second team, but your top teams are competing against each other, just testing themselves against the best of university netball players in the country.
It's so inspiring to have the Netball World Cup here in South Africa, because all the time you always just hear about it in other countries. We can actually show up and go watch it, and it's in a town that I grew up in. Netball at home, something that I've loved my whole life, is now basically in my backyard. So it's really exciting that it's here. It gives a chance for netball in South Africa to flourish more, that netball can become a job for the ones that are younger now. In the future they can say, I want to be a professional netball player. And it starts by having a World Cup in South Africa.
Netball is growing extremely as a sport in South Africa. Having the World Cup in South Africa this year has been amazing for us for USA Netball, in a sense because this tournament actually falls just a couple of weeks before the World Cup, so it has created a buzz, a bit more exposure for USA Netball, and we've seen a lot of spectators, not just female, male spectators, so there's a good interest in netball, so it's been great for us.
Last year, Marty's participated in USA again, and this was the first time in 12 years that we won USA Netball. It meant a lot for us as a team, because just to see all of the players' hard sacrifices that they do, and then also to remember that they're not only players, they're students as well. To finally see all of that effort go noticed, it meant really a lot for us. Last year was also the first time that Marty's won varsity netball, so it was a double gold winning year for us. So it was amazing, and we could have our two current Protea netball players, Nicole Talia and Nicolas Smith, part of that winning gold medal.
Tournaments like these are extremely important for the development of netball in the country. It gives athletes we have 26 institutions participating in 3 different sections. So it gives exposure, it gives experience. It also kind of allows the athletes or netball players to test themselves against the best of the best in the country in terms of university sport.
Yeah, so hosting a USA Netball tournament takes a lot of months of hard planning, seeing that there's a lot of stuff that you don't have control about, like the weather. So you always have to have your plan A, B, and C. And if you have a good team together and a lot of manpower, then it goes very smoothly. It's the first time that the World Cup netball is being hosted on South Africa's soil, and not a lot of players is going to see that happening again in their lifetime. So for all of the players around South Africa, it's just giving them the extra boost to do what they love.
Message of encouragement to the South African squad is that they go out there and they do their best and they show the world what South Africa can do.
Go Proteas! Take the gold!
Oh, Oh, I'm so excited for the Netball World Cup, and of course, lots of things to look forward to. Now, if you look at the most common injuries in netball, it is evident that a very high percentage occur to the knee and ankle because of poor landing, whether that be because of contact or not. And therefore, completing a structured strength training program can really help reduce the risk of the injuries from occurring. And here to take us through some of these exercises is biokineticist Catherine Masterson, or Kath for short. And Kath, I'm very excited for this because, of course, we're taking inspiration leading up to the end of the month where the Netball World Cup's occurring. So we're going to do some exercises to just really make sure that we are in line with what those who would play netball would be getting into.
Yes, morning everyone. So we're just going to start with a little warm-up, so ankles and knees. So we're going to lock your knees and we're going to do some heel walking. So I want you to keep the knees nice and straight. So this is for the shins, and then you can come back. We're going to do some toe walking. So on your toes, just warming up the calves.
Oh, and yesterday
Can you
was
feel them?
leg day, yes, so it's feeling the
and
muscle
it's so
group.
cold as well.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna do some lateral lunges, so feet just wider than your hips, and you can have your hands on your hips or just out in front of you, and we're just gonna take your knee out to the side, so push your bum back and down, and then out to the other side. Can you feel that in
Ooh.
your inner thigh?
I am feeling that.
Good. And breathe out as you go over to the side. Let's do one more on each side. Keep those feet nice and flat, toes facing forwards. Good. Okay, now keep your feet the same width apart, and we're gonna go down onto the floor. And I want you to try and drop your bum down as low as you can. Keep your heels down. There we go. And then you're gonna take your hand out over to the left. Yes, reach up. Can you feel that stretch?
Yes, I'm feeling a good stretch.
And then back down, and let's go over to the other side. How are those quads feeling?
Oh, the quads are burning. Yesterday was my
Let's do one more.
Day one of a brand new fitness challenge that I'm doing, and it was all about the legs. So this is a really painful but good stretch squat position.
Good. And you can just push your bum up to the ceiling, and let's come up slowly. Good. So good one for the ankles, knees, hip as well. Is an RDL. So we're going to start on your left side. You can have your left knee slightly bent, and we're going to go forwards, hinge from your hips, and you're going to touch your ankle and then come back up slowly.
Oh, this is all about balance.
Good. So really important is proprioception in netball. It's just your awareness of your body in space.
Okay.
And if you don't have good proprioception, that's when the injuries occur.
Okay.
Yes. Good. And let's see on the other side, how the other side looks. Bend your knee slightly.
Now, Kath, you come from a netball background. How excited are you for the World Cup?
So excited. Can't wait.
Have you managed to get some tickets?
Unfortunately not.
Oh.
But I'm hoping to...
Someone will be like, hey, I have a spare ticket.
Yes. Last one on this side. Good.
This
How's that
looks
feeling?
like such an easy exercise, but it's actually like the legs are shaking because you just have to really concentrate and maintain your balance, and that's also where your core comes into play.
Exactly, yes. Okay, so now we're gonna grab a ball, just one. This one. So I'm just gonna demonstrate. So we're gonna go down into a squat, and we're gonna go around the legs with the ball into a figure of 8.
Okay.
So you can give it a try.
Around in a figure of 8.
There we go. How are those quads?
The quads are burning from yesterday. There we go.
Good, and relax. Okay, now try this one. So we're still in the squat, and you're gonna bounce the ball. Try and go all the way around.
In a figure of 8.
In a figure of 8. Let's see if you can do it.
No.
Cool, that was pretty good.
We're getting there, we're getting there. We lost the ball.
Okay, then this one we can do together. You can actually do it against the wall if you don't have a partner.
Okay.
So I'm gonna throw the ball to you. So just I don't wanna hit your face. So we're gonna go from here. There we go. Both hands around. Oh,
And then throw it from up
Yes,
down there.
so both hands around.
Both hands go at the back.
And then up. So that's good for your wrists as well, actually. There we go. Good.
Go.
Try one more.
Catch the ball.
Yes, good.
Not so much about throwing.
Okay, now we can do some knees, some more knee exercises. So you're gonna take your ball, we're gonna do a lunge from the inside. You're gonna take the ball under the knee. There we go. Back up. Then other side. Lunge. Take the ball under. Good. You can do 2 more.
Okay. There we go. Cass, where can people get a hold of you if they want to know more information, perhaps about your training? Well, as a biokineticist, if people want to make use of your services, where's the best place to reach you?
So I coach and I organize a league called Back to Netball Cape Town. So you can find us on Instagram. And then I'm also a coach at a little academy called Into the Net. And that's for under 9s to under 18s.
Okay.
So all school kids. And then the Back to Netball Cape Town is for ladies all over the age of 18.
Oh, fantastic.
And there's no age limit.
There is no age limit indeed. I feel like now with my newfound freedom, I need to actually get into a bit of a netball
You need to
league.
join.
I will definitely do that. Thank you, Cass, for joining us today. And I hope you at home enjoyed the netball-inspired workout we gave you today.
Bonjour. If you're as excited about the Rugby World Cup in France as we are, then listen up. Total Energies has an amazing opportunity just for you. You can join the Total Energies Loyalty Club today. Spend 700 Rand or more, then you stand a chance to win double tickets to the highly anticipated South Africa vs. Ireland game on the 23rd of September in France. So get down to your nearest Total Energies today to make sure that you do not miss out on the experience of a lifetime. That competition closes on the 15th of July, so get on it. All the T's and C's do apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for joining us as we continue on a personal journey of motivation. We're going to fill that cup right back up this morning. Now, the psychology of getting fitter involves understanding the mental processes and behaviors that contribute to adopting and then maintaining a healthy lifestyle. It's the long game we're after here. So how do we stick to those New Year's resolutions of getting fit? Do we even call it a New Year's resolution? Well, it's not just about physical exercise and nutrition, which we've covered this morning. It's also about the mindset and motivation behind making positive change. And joining us to share her wisdom is a very young personal trainer with a lot of wisdom, Andile Peyi. Andile, I love the fact that you have made this your life journey.
Yeah.
Which clearly means that this is kind of a purpose-driven exercise for you.
Yeah.
I doubt you could do anything else.
Yeah.
Where does this begin for you? Was this a mental shift, or do you have to meet some kind of physical demand? Your body just needs to move. Where does the motivation stem for you?
Definitely mental. It's definitely a mental shift. I feel like once you mentally just prepare yourself for what's about to happen, yeah, you just keep going and all of that, yeah.
Because it's one and the same thing, and we often forget that that's how our brain works. It just wants to register success.
Yeah.
To be motivated. You just need to see a little incremental increase, and then you feel better about life. That needs a strategy, and I think this is the best part, is you can have a goal, you stick to it, you get results.
Yeah.
Life doesn't often work like that.
It doesn't always work, because there's always something that's going to come up, and then you just have to find the time for that exercise and just do it, because at the end of everything, or like at the end of all of it, it just helps you mentally, keeps you going, keeps pushing you and all of that, yeah.
And there's a balance that you find. It's amazing. I'll often, after not being active for about 2 weeks, and I've been on a rehab journey to find my body again, so it's slightly different to a lot of people I know, but I know a huge amount of people remember themselves being fit and strong and then went a different path and are wanting to get back into that space.
Yeah.
What is that mantra you use? What do you say to yourself? Because despite being fit and energetic, there must be mornings like this morning, you've got to get up at 4 and you've got to get going.
Yeah.
What's that mental game, that mantra that you use on yourself?
Mine is, I always say that you have to put the work in for it to work out. If you don't put the work in, it's just not going to work out. And we all have goals, and we all set goals for ourselves, and in order for us to achieve it, we have to do it. We have to do it at the end of the day. We're not going to get there if we're not going to do anything. If we just sit there and just, you know what?
You've got to move.
You have to
if it's
move.
one step forward, you've
one
got to
step
move.
forward, yeah, you have to move.
And that's transferable into other areas of our life. And I don't think we realize to what extent, once you've laid that kind of neural pathway down, you get to lean on that whenever you need to.
Exactly. Whenever you find yourself in a difficult situation, you go in like, how am I going to do this? If I do it now, it's done. Yeah, it's done.
And it does. It lays that kind of baseline of like, whatever the problem is, I'm going to just pick myself up 1 foot at a time.
100%.
You obviously have I would imagine a miraculous job of seeing people crack this code.
Yeah.
Discovering themselves again, maybe for the first time, discovering their physical potential. What difference do you see in people when they do crack that code?
I love it when people come in and their goals are to lose weight or just to strengthen. And then the shift comes in, oh no, I feel a lot better now. I don't feel stressed as much, work's a lot better. That just changes from physical to mental. Yeah, and I love that.
And the funny thing is, and I have this realization whenever I get back into like a fitness regime where you're like, nothing else has changed. I feel so much better about the pressures at work, about financial pressures, about familial pressures.
Exactly.
None of those pressures have gone away. I'm just better.
And you just better now. You know how to handle certain situations differently now.
How do you then take that motivation and let that fuel the trajectory upward? How do you keep yourself motivated? How do you make sure that you do stick to the long game?
Just stick to you just, oh my word, like I just think that you have to just remember how you were before and where you are right now, and just reflect, always reflect back at how far you came.
Because I think, if you're in it, you often don't realize the progression, certainly in my journey. But if I look back to where I was 6 months ago, I will say, Andile, the one thing that's made all the difference for me is the experts like you sitting in the couch, because it is such a motivation to know that there are people dedicating their entire lives to the well-being of others.
Yeah.
So thank you for being that.
Thank
you for being so young and fresh as well, just to reinforce how old and not fresh the rest of us are. Now, you are going to go places, so keep this kind of motivation going. There is a community around you. You might not have plugged into it yet, but there is so much motivation ready to get you moving. So go out and take that first step.
Love it. So much inspiration on this Tuesday morning. But right now, joining us is indie singer, songwriter Lucan Joshua. Now, Lucan has shared the stage with renowned SA musicians such as Karen Zoid and Glaskas while performing at music venues and festivals all over the country. Now, this morning, he is here to tell us about the release of his brand new song called Superhuman, and also his upcoming performances in South Africa. Lucan, lucky to have you, my friend. Welcome back.
Man, it's good to be back.
Yeah, it's
good
good.
to see you.
Good. I was just saying earlier, like, your sound checks sound amazing. We can't wait for those performances, man.
Thanks, man.
You really got such a cool vibe to you.
Thanks,
it does.
bro, appreciate
So last year you were here on Expresso.
Yes.
What have you been up to since?
Goodness me, it has been. Well, I lost some hair. My hair
Still
was
looks good, man.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, it's been incredible, man. I mean, as I was telling you, I left my 9 to 5, and I've been doing this thing full time for the last while, and it's been both scary and uncertain, but it's been a faith walk, and it's also been an intensely rewarding one. Being able to travel the country, being able to play so many cool shows and venues and festivals, it's been a blessing.
But that's a huge decision, you know, to make such a drastic life change. I mean, what brought that on for you? I mean, how did you get to that point where you're like, because I think there's a lot of people out there that is stuck in that situation where they have a passion, but they're stuck in a different environment where they are working a 9 to 5. How do you step out of that?
I believe it's taking a look in the mirror and noticing your first grey hair.
Now, there's advice if I ever heard it.
I mean, yeah, the moment you see that, you're like, okay, I definitely need to start doing something a little bit more scary and spontaneous with my life, you know? So, I mean, it's ridiculous. We were just speaking about how time has flown so drastically over the past year, and I mean, how also the amount of time that COVID was a while back, you know? And if you look at the amount of, well, the speed at which time has just been going, it's crazy how you realize that eventually it's going to reach the end and you have to do something with your life. And it was now or never, and I was like, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. So I'm glad that
Not just fitness inspiration this morning, and I love that because life is short, you know. Why don't you just try and focus on what you do enjoy, what resonates with you as a person and your soul. I love that, man. So congrats on that step, dude.
Thank you so much.
And you're doing some great things. You're going to perform your first song for us, This Life.
Absolutely.
Tell me about the song, because, I mean, you wrote it, so there was a music video as well. Where was the inspiration for This Life? Has it got anything to do with your big decision?
I would say it's relative to it. I lived in the small town of Jeffreys Bay, where I learned how to surf and, you know, ride some waves. And I realized in that chapter of my life that, you know, it was so important to be able to stand still, to put my phone to the side, and to simply just be in the moments of life and enjoy it, because it's all that we will actually ever be. And that's a great starting point, especially for all the fitness that's been happening this morning. You know, I mean, this life's all we're gonna ever have. So why not make the most of it, work your body to its core, and make the most of life.
You have one life, and it is This Life. And we're going to hear that song from Lucan Joshua in just a little bit. Dude, it's really wonderful to have you. Thank you very much. We look forward to that performance in just a bit. Stick around.
Just like we are looking forward to this conversation, I hope your cups are full. It's time to spill the beans.
It's time to spill the beans.
Well, this morning we've made ourselves the Jacob's Capsule Coffee, number 8, the Lungo Intenso. Gentlemen.
It is Lungo and Intenso.
Oh, that smells amazing.
Beautiful.
So you have it in its purest form. I always dilute with a little bit of milk, a little bit of
Enhance,
sugar.
say enhance.
Enhance. I enhance it this way.
But it's nice, eh? It's got a bit of a kick to it.
And it's also got a nice, rich smell to it. And a good
aroma.
A great way to start your day's coffee journey, I think. A nice jumping off point. The peer with which you can jump off into your coffee journey for the day.
Oh.
Okay?
You know when you get a good coffee is when you don't have to add anything to it. Unless the milk.
Shame,
You know what I'm saying?
It's called enhancing.
We shall have no coffee snobbery.
No,
this
we
morning.
do not judge. No judgment shall be bestowed upon a person that adds milk to coffee.
Yes, well, that can be the 4th rule, okay? We're going to put it down. So we are here for a reason. We said we want to spill the beans, so let's have a little bit of fun with it this morning. And we gave you guys a fun sentence to end, and this was it. Okay, so we want to be impulsive this morning. We want to kind of capitalize on this fitness journey that we're on, and maybe coffee is the first way to get us there. But I want you to finish this sentence. The only thing better than my morning coffee is...
Dot, dot, dot. Let's see what you had to say. This can go very naughty
yeah,
very
I know.
quickly.
This is a safe place. I'm going to reiterate that. Chantal saying absolutely nothing. Coffee, especially Jacobs, is my first thing every day. # with Jacobs.
Oh, Wendy actually says hot chocolate.
Okay, just to, you know, just to ease into it. Okay, I get it.
Oh, Taryn says, first of all, gift of life, and then waking up the kids, and then morning coffee. Oh.
Hey, listen, there have been mornings where I've been like, I've told my son, just wait while I finish my coffee or get my coffee, and then I'm like, okay, come on.
Come on in.
Maybe you need it in different order.
Yeah. Let's see, we have one more there. Andre says, sharing it with your better half. Oh, there's nothing like it. I do enjoy that.
Oh, Nicole, come on. Okay, so Nicole is our resident foodie angel, being served a Benedict breakfast with crispy bacon along with that coffee. Boom, drops mic, leaves kitchen.
That is actually the ultimate question, the answer, because you have your coffee there, but you take a bite first and then have your coffee.
Oh,
nothing
my
better.
goodness. No, I don't think I can talk before I've had a coffee, to be quite honest, man. I need
It's a tough question to answer, I won't lie.
Now, for me, it's got to be the kids. There is nothing like when I get that morning at home, just the sleepy face, when you see it come down the stairs. And generally, Jack will be up a bit earlier with me, and then we try not to wake everyone else up. And then Georgie will come down when I see that sleepy little face, man.
Well, Susan's going to come down the hallway with a sleepy little face and a cup of coffee. In
Oh, man.
Let's
Can
see.
you train them to do that? Yours are older. You can do that.
You should start them from young. If I may answer that myself, I think the only thing better first thing in the morning than a cup of coffee is sleeping in.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Gee whiz,
Okay.
you have
And
to
then
go
you
there.
have your cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Sleeping in is a luxury.
Well, I think for me, in tune with what we are talking about today, it's my morning workout routine, and then coming home and having a nice.
Are you a morning routine kind of a guy?
If I
Do you need to
can,
get it as early as
morning,
possible?
I like that. I like that, to just get the energy up there. It just wakes you up a little bit, and then you come home and relax and have a nice cup of coffee. So that's my vibe.
Now, for me, it's the processing at the end of a day. That's when I like to move and get rid of all the negative energy. But for me, every step of my day will probably have one of these
Somewhere,
in my hand
yeah.
somewhere, yeah.
More than
Along the
one
way.
cup of coffee.
Perfectly
that's
fine as well.
Well, listen, spill the beans and win, and tell us what's the one thing that's better than your morning coffee. And you can enter on Expresso's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram pages with that hashtag with Jacobs. One lucky person will win a Jacobs coffee hamper and 2,000 Rand in cash. For all of those T's and C's, you can visit our website. That's expressoshow.com.
Go make yourself a cup first, though.
And then decide what's better than the first cup
Cheers.
of coffee.
A world full of intense aromas and velvety smooth crema, protected by a premium aluminium capsule. Magical Jacob's Aroma.
That time his vacation ended last week.
Oh, and by the way, guys, at the airport lounge, free food, free drinks for us VIPs, very important passengers.
Oh, VIP. When anyone can get 12 free airport lounge visits with a My Goals premium account.
So your 12 lounge vacations are for bonky bonky.
Yeah, very.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. You're tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on S3. And what a Tuesday morning it is right now. Time for a bit of fun. So here's a question for you. Do you want the last sip of my Steri Stumpy? Said no one ever. No ways, we're not sharing. Steri Stumpy has been coloring our lives with their delicious range of flavored milk for over 50 years. And brand manager Brandwin Bosman is here to challenge us to a fun blind taste test to find out just how well we know our favorite flavors. Bradwin, lucky to have you, my friend.
Good to be here. Dude.
I'm excited for this one. I'm excited because I'm not competing, that's for sure. So here's how it's going to work. We will have 60 seconds to successfully identify all 10 flavors of the range. Now, to add a little twist, 2 bonus points will be given to, firstly, I think, correctly guessing what that newly added flavor is. And then Braden will also be our referee and our judge. And the Steri Stumpy mascot is also here to bring the gees. Hashtag Steri Stumpy goes nuts. So let's get our competitors in here. Graham, Zoe, get in here. Oh, I must actually get her because she is blindfolded. Here we go.
Hi.
Hello, hello. Come, Zoe. There's lots happening here. All right. So I will place you right here, right here. Okay, see, there we go. Okay. Where's my man, Graham? Okay.
Apparently we're doing this separately.
Are you guys doing it? Oh, because you can't see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so 60 seconds and you have to identify each flavor. And if you correctly identify the new flavor, you get 2 points.
Cool.
Bradwin's
Am I allowed to take this blindfold off?
No, look here. Oh, can you take it off?
Yeah.
May I take it off?
Okay, you can take it off now because you can't see it.
Take it off.
All right.
Hi there.
Look at the setup.
Oh, look at this. Okay.
So you're going to start working your way through. You can choose whichever side you want, but you've got 60 seconds to do so and figure
sip
out.
And taste.
Yes.
Okay, let's start.
Are we ready?
Right. Laat ek hier begin.
You can begin. I'm going to count you down. Okay, Zoe, is jy reg?
Yes.
Hier gaan ons. 3, 2, 1 and let's go.
Banana. Bubblegum. Oh, I'm just peanut butter. Chocolate. Lime. Oh, I'll need to come back there. I think that's coffee.
Okay, we have 30 seconds on the clock.
Vanilla. Strawberry.
Okay.
Is that the new flavor? Is that salted caramel?
Nope. Two more missing.
Come on, you got it, Zoe.
Which ones did I miss? Which ones did I miss? Okay, wait.
Yeah, that one.
I'm gonna count to 10, 9, 8, 7.
Oh, this is so yummy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Caramel.
Bing. Ooh. Okay. So how did our lovely Miss Zoe do?
Okay, so of the total 11 flavors that she could have gotten, she got 10.
Okay.
Oh!
Yeah. So 10 points.
10 points.
So there's bonus points for the secret flavor.
So she correctly identified the brand new one, Zoe.
Yeah.
Did I? Okay.
Well done. Okay, so 10 points in total.
Yeah. 10 points.
Okay, fantastic. Now, it is.
Can I stay here for the G-Man?
I think you should stay here for the G-Man. Let's get Graham in there. Okay.
This is so cool. Obviously, we did not see what was being displayed, but I can
we
see
kept
on
it
camera
very,
now.
very secret. Can we just give Graham a hand on that side, Edwin?
Yeah.
Take him by the hand and lead him in here.
Okay.
Nice.
So, G-Man.
Get you past the...
Graham, right in front of you, there's a box. There we go.
Wow.
And there's straws. You can take off your blindfold now.
Oh, thank you.
So you can't see the. So we're going to ask don't look at the TV screen that's in studio, but.
Yeah. So 60 seconds to identify all the flavors. 2 extra points if you correctly identify the brand new flavor. Okay.
Whoa.
So you're going to have to sip and identify.
So you let us know where to start.
Okay.
Start
Which
Can I start? I'll start here.
Okay.
Let's go
I'm
down
going to count you down. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1, and go.
Strawberry all over the table. Vanilla. Peppermint. Banana? I don't know. Maybe. Is that coffee or coffee-ish? I don't know. Wow. Cream soda. Chocolate. That's peanutty, man. That's a peanutty something. That's peanut butter? Wow, goodness. Le bubble gum. France. No, that's banana. That's banana. Okay. I don't know what you were. There's a toffee or something. Wow.
Okay, well, you've got this.
You actually got it, yeah. Just got it at the end there, actually.
Wow.
Okay, so there we go. Time is up. Brandon, how did we do here?
Okay, so Graham actually got all 11 points. So he managed to get, at the end, you got the toffee at the end.
Oh,
So you got
seconds
all of
to
them.
spare.
All of them.
Because I thought I had it down, and then there was such a nuance. But when you taste the banana and you get that, you're like, okay, now I remember. But what is going? Is that peanut butter?
That's the new peanut butter flavor.
That's the new one. And you both got it right.
Did you get it?
But well done.
Well done.
Can I give you guys?
I didn't get toffee
Good job.
caramel.
Which is
I
incredible.
missed out on cream soda. What did I say?
Yeah, you said lime, eh?
I do.
I almost want to say close enough, but
Yeah, you see, I've got kids. That's old school. That's like a granny thing to say. Lime
No, but it's
flavored
also like you
milkshake.
see green, so you're like, oh, lime.
dude, this is exciting. You know, there's a brand new flavor, peanut butter, and let me be honest, I love peanut butter. I know Graham loves peanut
Because we've been
butter
doing that in shakes for how long, bro?
For how long, dude? This is exciting. Tell us about the brand new flavor.
No, but it's exactly that. I mean, who doesn't love peanut butter? So, you know, like, I mean, everyone knows Teddy Stumpy, and it's such a nostalgic brand as well. Like, it takes you back into a time in your childhood where, you know, things were a bit fun, you know, it takes you back to a core memory. And I think peanut butter as a flavor does exactly that as well. Yeah. So when we launched, when we were looking for the flavor, we actually asked consumers on social media, we asked them, you know, what flavor do you think would be perfect to launch under Teddy Stumpy? And peanut butter came up as one of those, like, those flavors. So I thought it was, we thought it was, like, perfectly fitting for the brand, and obviously for what consumers are looking for. It takes you back, you know?
I think you guys were holding out on us
Yes.
for years
For a
now.
while,
You knew
yeah.
that one day in 2023 there's a peanut butter that's going to be launched.
No, for
because
sure.
it's going to be one of the top ones.
Yeah,
I know this.
no, definitely.
Listen, is there any exciting competitions, promotions around the brand new flavor that we can look out for?
Look, what I will say is follow us on social media and look out for the hashtag Steady Stumpy Goes Nuts. There's a lot of awesome competitions that's going to be run for the next couple of weeks. And so, yeah, just follow us on social media and be on the lookout for some competitions running.
Now it all makes sense. Go nuts,
all
peanut butter.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, give a round of applause for our winner.
Awesome, man.
Thank you. Scary, I didn't see you there.
Now remember, Seri Stumpy is always bringing the fun and excitement to your taste buds, like you've seen right now. Now you stand a chance to win an exclusive Seri Stumpy hamper to the value of 1,000 Rand. Simply buy the new peanut butter flavor. Snap a pic of you going absolutely nuts with it. And I can't wait to see this. I'm really excited for this one. And then you go and you share it with us on the Expresso social media pages. And also don't forget to include that hashtag Seri Stumpy Goes Nuts. The competition closes this coming Sunday, the 16th of July at midnight. T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. And in addition to this, remember to catch this week's exciting episode of the Taste Master Season 4 tonight at 7 p.m. on SABC2. Plus, you can catch repeats on Wednesday at 1 o'clock and Saturday at 2 on SABC2. Well done, guys. That was fun.
Now I'm trying to remember which store.
Good job,
This
dude.
is one I couldn't figure
Good
out.
job. You guys go and figure this out. We're going to take a quick ad break. We'll see you just now.
I thought you were going to get this back. No, my friend, no. That is cool, eh?
Choose Parmalat for better lunches, better dinners, and better family time. Parmalat makes life better and better.
Parmalat. Do it like this. Get it, move it, own it. Do it like this.
Bespoke.
my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. On the way in the final hour of the show, Luca Joshua is back, baby, and he's going to be performing for you and for us, just a little bit. And then, of course, we are getting onto the bodybuilding culture. I think it represents the tip of the spear when it comes to physicality, that fitness journey for many. What is our obsession with the body beautiful? We'll delve into that in just a moment. But one last chance to catch up with all of those news and sporting headlines before the final of the show kicks off.
Thank you so much, Graham. Exactly 8 o'clock. Let's take a last look at your news headlines. Starting off with your national news, Johannesburg Water has urged the city's residents to stock up on water ahead of a supply shutdown. Now, the water outages will affect areas including Roodepoort, Randburg, Soweto, Southdale, Innerdale and Johannesburg Central. Now, other municipalities such as Rustenburg Local Municipality, Mogale City and Rand West will also be affected. Now, the planned water shutdown of some 58 hours will run from tonight until Friday morning. Now, the purpose of the shutdown is to install isolation valves and conduct system upgrades at Rand Water's Eikenhof pump station. And the driver of a vehicle involved in a fatal accident on the N1 between Brackenfell Boulevard and the R300 off-ramp near Cape Town has been arrested on a charge of culpable homicide. 5 children were killed and 6 injured when the vehicle hit a barrier. It's reported that 11 people were in the vehicle. Meanwhile, a 6th learner involved in a fatal accident in Mitchell's Plain near Cape Town in May has died in hospital. 5 other learners from Khayelitsha were fatally injured in that same accident. Then over to international news headlines this morning. Tunisian authorities have suspended the salary payments of 17,000 teachers and sacked 350 school principals. Now, the move affects nearly a third of the country's primary school teachers and follows widespread recent protests by education staff across the country. Now, these protests have included refusing to hand in the school grades of pupils, and the Tunisian government has insisted that the country's dire economic problems mean that the teachers' pay demands are unaffordable. Tunisia is facing high inflation, rising unemployment, and severe shortages of some staple foods. And US President Joe Biden has described relations with the UK as rock solid during talks in London with Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. Now, they discussed a US move to give Ukraine controversial cluster bombs to defend itself against Russia. All 31 NATO members attending the summit in Vilnius in Lithuania agree that Ukraine cannot join the military alliance during the war, as this could bring direct conflict with Russia. Ukrainian President Zelensky has said he doesn't expect Kiev to join the bloc until after the war, but he wishes the summit to give a clear signal on Ukraine's bid. And we finish off with this story. A non-profit organization running a soup kitchen for the very needy in Kariga, Eastern Cape, says they have seen an increase in the number of beneficiaries. Now, Mother's Gift provides food weekly in different parts of Kariga. Temperatures were below 15 degrees as a cold front hit the Eastern Cape last weekend. For some of these residents, the warm cup of soup is their first and last meal of the day. Now, John Isaac, heading the organization, says they've been feeding the community for a number of years now and feed some 300 to 400 kids a week. Now, that's Mother's Gifts, and that's what it stands for, to provide for these kids in need. I love organizations out there doing the most for our kids. That's a wrap of your news headlines for your Tuesday morning. Here's Graham with one last look at your sports.
Thank you, Ivis. Let's start with some rugby news and great news for South Africa's second rower, Marvin Orie. He's having an incredible year. He will now be joining Pepignon next season on a 2-year deal. 30-year-old started in Saturday's Rugby Championship win over Australia, but he'll miss out on this weekend's game against New Zealand. He's likely to feature for his country, of course, at this year's Rugby World Cup in France. That ends on October the 28th as they aim to defend the Webb Ellis Trophy. Now we turn to tennis, and top seed Carlos Alcaraz, well, he's underlined his status as the man likeliest to stop Novak Djokovic winning another Wimbledon title. That was after beating the 2021 finalist Matteo Berrettini. The 20-year-old fought back to win 3-6, 6-3, 6-3 and 6-3 to reach the SW19 quarterfinals for the first time, where he will now face Holger Rune, who won his encounter 3-6, 7-6, 7-6, 6-3 against Grigor Dimitrov. And Djokovic, he remains the man to beat, though, and he'll face Andrei Rublev next. Then on the women's draw, world number 2, Arina Sabalenka, she reached the quarterfinals for the second time with a straight sets win over Ekaterina Alexandrova. Then defending champion Alina Rybakina, Jessica Pegula and Iga Swiatek also through to that last 8. Now let's look forward to the impending footy season, and new Tottenham head coach Ange Postecoglou, says he has, quote, not had any assurances over Harry Kane's future at the club. So Sky in Germany are reporting that Bayern Munich have submitted a second bid for Kane now worth £68 million, plus add-ons, with the England captain said to be wanting to move to the Bundesliga champions. Well, the 29-year-old has entered the final year of his Spurs contract, but Tottenham insist that he is not for sale and the club would not welcome any bids for the striker. Now, a moment in history in athletics yesterday as Gabby Thomas ran the 6th fastest time in history as she won the women's 200 meters at the US Championships in Oregon in style. So it was building to that moment over the course of the competition, the 26-year-old clocking a time of 21.6 seconds, the quickest time of the year, but being Sha'Carri Richardson to that title. So the win prevented Richardson winning a sprint double after she secured the 100-meter title on Friday. And Thomas set the fastest time of the year of 21.86 in the semi-finals. Before the 200-meter world champion Sharika Jackson then ran at 21.71 at the Jamaican Championships. But Thomas responded again in the final, securing her spot at next month's World Championships, which I think is going to see a number of records for all of our athletes hitting their straps at the right time. But that's a wrap of your sport for this morning. The movement will continue. Likewise, the movement on our roads. Let's get the latest on the traffic front.
Thank you, Graham. Let's start off with your traffic in Plattekloof, Cape Town. There's a vehicle broken down on the N1 outbound. It's after Plattekloof Road. The left lane is blocked. Please approach with caution. And staying in Cape Town in Kuils River, there's been an accident on the R300 northbound before the N2. The right lane is closed. Approach with caution. Well, that's a wrap of your traffic. Let's take a final look at your weather. And some interesting weather as Gauteng residents experienced a pleasant surprise yesterday morning as snow fell over many parts of the province. The last time snowfall was recorded in Gauteng was in 2012. The SA Weather Service says the cold conditions are expected to last until the end of the week. Wits University biometeorology expert Jennifer Fitchett says it was just below 2 degrees when snow began to fall yesterday morning. Metro rail services in Gauteng were disrupted as the freezing conditions affected the train lines and infrastructure, and the Eastern Cape, the Transport Department warned drivers to approach the province's mountain passes with extreme caution as snowfalls continue to cause havoc on some of the region's roads. Snowfall have also been reported from Mpumalanga. Well, let's take a look at your temperatures for today. If you're in Polokwane, your low is 1, your high only 15 degrees Celsius. Mbombela 9:19, Pretoria 3:17, Johannesburg 2 with a high of 14. Mahikeng, sunny but cool, a low of 0 with a high of 19. Klerksdorp, -1, reaching a high of 15. Kimberley, -3 with a high of 15. If you're in Bloemfontein, brace yourself. Your low is -5 and your high 16. Richards Bay, 13:17. Pietermaritzburg, 5 with a high of 17. Durban, 13, reaching a high of 24 today. Mthatha, 2 with a high of 17. East London, your low is 8, your high 17. Cradock, -1 with a high of 14. Gqeberha, sunny but cold. Your low is 5, your high 17. George 4, reaching a high of 14. If you're in Cape Town today, a sunny but cold day, a low of 6, a high of 16. Worcester 6, reaching a high of 20. Sutherland 1, reaching a high of 14. And Uppington, your low is 0, your high 20 degrees Celsius. Well, those are your temperatures for your Tuesday. Let's take a look at your sunrise views that you share with us. Now, France and Richards Bay shared this beautiful photo. Look at the pink tones all over the water. Then Louise in Alberton showing off a cloudy sky, and that is taken from outside her home. Then Nancy in Pennington on the beach. She's on the beach dipping her toes in the cooler water and enjoying the breeze, and shared this beautiful photo with us. And Prakash exploring Durban's harbour sent through this video in watching the waves crash as the birds fly around. Thank you for that, Prakash. If you would love to share a video or a photo with us, we love seeing them. Our number is 063 408 8863.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, take note of this man. If you may be seeing him for the very first time, maybe you're not seeing him for the first time and you know exactly who this man is. His name is Lucan Joshua and he is simply phenomenal. He's our musical artist for the day. Here he is right now with this song called This Life. Take it.
1,000 times I fall into my aching knees, thinking I could be the only one sailing through the raging seas. But then again, I've always known that I have never been the only one. No, no, no. The only one mistaken what is good and what is bad and what is right or wrong. So open up your eyes and maybe you will see that the life you live was meant to be lived abundantly. Take a walk outside and breathe in all the green. Take a break from all your favorite shows on TV, 'cause this life is all that it will ever be. All of it for you and me, yeah. The sun is gone, but she's never gone for good. The unconditional conditions is something that I never understood. But then before you know it, there she is, throwing rays against your windowsill, like your big daddy papa throwing love your way, and all you've got to do is just be still. Ooh, so open up your eyes and maybe you will see that the life you live was meant to be lived abundantly. Take a walk outside and breathe in all the green. Take a break from all your favorite shows on TV, 'cause this life you've got to like a shooter, like a leader, a shooter, leader, you've got to like a shooter, like a leader, a shooter, leader. So open up your eyes and maybe you will see that the life you live was meant to be lived abundantly. Take a walk outside and breathe in all the green. Take a break from all your favorite shows on TV, 'cause this life, like a sugar leader, this life, like a sugar leader, this life is all that it will ever be. Oh, oh.
Come on! Come on! Look, I can fully understand why you quit your 9 to 5 to do that. That's incredible, man. I feel like I want to take a road trip now.
I mean, let's go.
Where to J-Bay?
When?
Let's go to J-Bay, dude. Like, that's proper road trip music. Stick around. Luke and Josh are still with us. He's got 2 more performances, actually, so don't miss that. That's phenomenal, dude. Really, really nice. Stick around for that. We're going to take a very quick break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we talk about Kellogg's promise for better days for children. I love focusing on our young ones. We'll see exactly what they are up to. And then we continue with the fitness talk and inspiration. It's all about bodybuilding, the pinnacle of fitness. All that and more coming up.
With Jacob's Barista Editions, every bean, every roast, every cup is in a class of its own. Jacob's Barista quality in whole beans and new aluminium capsules in 3 exciting flavors. Try now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, we are loving today's show. There is a certain momentum that is dragging me along, and it's a very positive thing. This is where the world is right now. In a world filled with abundance, it is devastating that 1 in 5 South African children go to school hungry every school day, and that might be a conservative estimate. As a result, malnutrition levels are high, which is why for nearly a decade, Kellogg's has been actively fighting hunger and working towards creating better days for our children, because it starts in the belly. And here to tell us more about their Better Days promise is Corporate Affairs Director Zandile Mposelwa. Zandile, welcome. Thank you for bringing your Kellogg's A game this morning. I love it. Your brand deliverers are all like, yes, girl, you got it. I love the sound of better days. For me, when it comes to children, they deserve better days. They need better days. When you take in the numbers, how soul-destroying that can be, it is so good to see a positive pushback in this critical space. For me, young children especially, ECDs all the way. Where did this Better Days promise stem from? Because this speaks to more than just a marketing campaign or a CSI initiative. There's DNA woven into this.
Absolutely. It's rooted to our purpose as the organization, because our purpose is to create better days and the table for everyone. And W.K. Kellogg, when he started Kellogg many years ago, and his premise was that you can do business as you do good.
Yeah.
And for us, it's about doing good for communities. And in South Africa, where we are faced with so many challenges, and for us to be able to say, on a school day, we have enabled a child, it's something that is humbling for all of us at Kellogg.
Because it's where it all begins. And I love the fact that the love of a mother, the love of a father, the love of a brother or a sister, these are conversations that transcend.
Yeah.
You're no longer talking to a community, a socio-economic bracket. You're talking to individuals at a critical gateway in their life. Children need to know, need to be respected, and need to be loved to know that that's what they are worth. And this just proves that on a base level. How does it work? How do you action this wonderful emotional idea?
So we work with the Department of Education, and we also partner with Food Forward South Africa that takes the food to the children, to the schools. And they help us identify where the need is. And every school day, over 30,500 children get breakfast from us. And for us, it's not about the food. It's about the fact that that child is going to have a full tummy and they're going to learn that day. So that is what it's all about. And I've been to schools, Graham, where at the beginning of the school day, there's this teamwork that is happening. Other children go to get milk, others go get, the bowls get together, the teacher comes and serves the children in class. And the research tells us that those encourage good behaviors because that connection. And they're not standing in the queue outside for food. They're sitting in class.
Sure, not this.
No.
Exactly.
They're sitting in class.
Exactly.
They're eating. And afterwards, another one gets up to collect the dishes. The other one comes up. They wash the dishes. They're ready to start their day. And I think for me, more than anything, the principals, without being asked, they write and tell us that their attendance rate has gone up because children know that there is food at school. They get to school on time because they know that breakfast is served between a certain period of time.
It's that important, yeah.
And we've helped mom not to think about at least one meal for that day.
And to put it in perspective, I think these are good opportunities to understand privilege. So imagine if the biggest thing in your day, the most important thing was trying to figure out how am I going to get one meal together this day for my child. And that's your dominant thought.
Yeah.
It's a terrifying place to be in. And I think a lot of people touched that space during COVID.
Yeah.
But you guys have almost reached a maturity now. You've always been that breakfast brand that does more, that pretty much is breakfast in South Africa or across the world. But now there seems to be this authenticity about owning your place in the market. How do you get that right? What else are you doing to make sure that there are better days? You seem to have just nailed that. Does it come from the heart? Does it come from your leadership? Does it come from the playbook that you work from? Where does this heart and this purpose come from?
Earlier on, I spoke about our purpose. It's rooted in our purpose at Kellogg. I think about during COVID, where our colleagues at the factory would call me and say, Zandi, do you need more food for communities in need? So all of us, we want to do our best. And earlier on, you mentioned privilege. I remember when I was still in school, I would see these children go up the tree to pick up peaches.
Yeah.
I thought they were naughty. And now, working for Kellogg, I've got to understand that it was hunger. And for us to be able to say we're making a difference is very humbling. And to be able to say and sit in 2023 and say that we've donated over 51 million meals is something, again, that is humbling, that we have helped. There's still a whole lot more to be done because food insecurity is still a huge issue in South Africa and around the world. That is why Kellogg globally has committed to creating 3 billion better days by 2030 around the world. And this is through various initiatives that we, the organization is supporting around the world.
Yeah, and in your brand promise, I think you have to. Now you've painted yourself into that corner, you've got to live it, and you do.
We're
and
proud
you deliver.
of it.
And just to put it in perspective, there are around 60 million people in South Africa. If you fed 51 million of them, you're doing a pretty good job. The bottom line is, I think food insecurity speaks to a social development, a very complex situation that has pretty much one answer. That's this notion of one welfare. If we don't develop our market, we're not going to have a market. If we don't empower the people that we are serving, we won't have a market. And I love the fact that we've reached that point. So thank you for delivering and putting
Just a correction, Graham, we've donated 51 million meals, not necessarily 50 people. Yeah, just for correction. But it is quite humbling. And thank you for your time.
It's an amazing achievement. Thank you so much. And I love the fact that we are only just getting started. With brands like this paving the way, we are going to see action on a whole different level with an unwavering commitment to fighting hunger and creating positive change, tangible change. We can lead the charge in creating a world where no one goes hungry. And by providing sustainable, equitable access to food, we have the power to make a difference in the lives of millions, one meal at a time, because that's how it works. So in celebration of 100 years of hashtag nourishing great starts, Kellogg's are giving you guys the chance to win your share of 1 million rand in cash. That's how you give back. Simply buy any 2 of their qualifying products and dial *120*2447#. Then follow the easy prompts and enter the last 4 digits of your barcode. South Africans stand a chance to win up until the end of October, but you can find all those T's and C's that apply on kellogg's.co.za. Just go out there and feed a child, please. Thank you, Kellogg's.
Thank you.
From a box full of goodness to a breakfast that keeps a nation going, here's to 100 years of nourishing great starts.
Well, it's all about winning, and it's all about putting the spotlight on all of those that deserve the recognition.
Introducing new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5ml sachets. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever, anytime, anywhere.
And when it comes to sons, they have a special way of melting hearts, leaving a trail of love wherever they walk. Now, Panado gave you the chance to nominate your amazing son for a special dose of care for a chance to win 2,000 Rand cash. And now it's time to announce our second winner for today. Can I get a drum roll, please, as we say congratulations to Maropeng Morokolo. You are our lucky winner for today. And this is what Moloko had to say, writing, I have the best son because he is caring, loving, and supportive. He has truly inspired me to become a determined individual, and I owe my success to him. I believe that he deserves to win this because he is a hard worker and is a top learner in his class at school, using that hashtag Panado essay and a dose of care. Now we have Moloko on the line right now to tell us more about her wonderful son. Moloko, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, that was such a lovely nomination that you did. Can you tell us a little bit more about your son, perhaps his name, and share some of those qualities that you admire so much in him?
His name is Maropeng. He's 6 years now. He's a loving kid. Loves to play with other kids, and he's caring the way I see him.
Okay, I love that. And you know what? There is a special bond between mom and her son. And what does it feel like knowing that your son is not only already being a top achiever in class, but just becoming such a wonderful man for the future? What do you hope for him for his future?
It means a lot to me. It means a lot. So I'm start saving for his future, to go to varsity and study whatever he wants. I want to see him happy.
Want to see him happy. Well, I think he is going to make you very happy, and he's going to be a very happy individual himself. Moloko, congratulations. Your son has won that dose of care from Panado. And really, there is no better time than the present to tell your son how much you love him and how proud you are of him.
Being a parent can be challenging, but stepping out is when things get real complicated. That's why new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5 ml sachets are here to make the job easier. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever, anytime, anywhere. Panado, a dose of care.
Choose a rate of up to 13.85% after 60 months with a Nedbank Electronic Optimum Plus account. No fees or commissions. Open your account in less than 2 minutes on the Money app. Join the bank that's best for your savings goals.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us on our movement towards movement. And we've seen how much can be achieved when you just connect with your body. But what if we take it to the ultimate, to the extreme, like bodybuilding? From, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger to The Rock, bodybuilding has influenced sports, fashion, film, the ever-growing fitness industry. I think all of us have that physique that we aspire to.
For sure. And here to help us understand it a little better is attorney by day. Sounds like a superhero. Bodybuilding enthusiast in his spare time. Chad Clayton. Chad, lucky to have you, my friend.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Such a pleasure being here.
It's been such an inspirational show, from getting, dietary advice and, motivation and discipline and unpacking all of that. But now we're taking it one level further.
Level.
Yeah, tip of the spear.
Tip of the spear, bodybuilding. So what got you into it in the first place? What attracted you to the sport?
I think for me, the thing that attracted me to bodybuilding is the aspect of being able to push your body to that next level. I would say that everybody is bodybuilders in a sense. Any movement that you do, you're building your body. Yeah. But the edge to bodybuilding is that pushing your not only physical abilities, but also your mental abilities as well. pushing yourself to be stage ready. Because remember, once you're competing on the stage, you're completely showing a different package to what people would call abnormal, so to say. And that is where bodybuilders find, you know, that community between themselves of being able to know that they've pushed that the 3-month prep or whatever prep may be, to be able to show that package on stage where you know that vascularity, you know that what that definition, all of that. So that is the amazing part.
That's what I find fascinating, is the ability to manipulate your body and change it and see it change, and how intricate those processes are.
Buddy, when last did you have to cut? Just how difficult is it to go through that final phase? Now, it speaks to the discipline that's involved, and I think that's where it becomes a fine art, is because it requires on every level, from the nutrition to the physical activity. Did you have that mindset going into this, or is that something you've had to kind of chisel out, panel beat along the way?
What I love about bodybuilding is that there's no blueprint to, you know, a specific diet or to cutting, so to say. And the great thing about the community of bodybuilding is also that you get and you share advice from everybody, because my body is different to yours and each one's body is different. So in order to...
Thanks for pointing that out, bro. Yes, my body is slightly different to yours. But...
So I competed in a show last year, and the last month was when you really have to cut. When you drop your water, you drop all the carbs in your body as well. And that is where you get rid of what we call is that subcutaneous water, which is that water between your muscle and your skin. And in order to do that drop, you're really pushing your body to the next level. So you're cutting all carbs from your diet. It's just proteins. You're having 6 eggs for breakfast, mushrooms, cooking no oils, things like that. You're just drinking water. So that is really...
Distilled water.
Yeah, and the discipline with cutting also is that you're so lethargic, but you know that you have that end goal in mind, that you're willing to push through that. Also.
We've all seen someone gassing out just doing a pose, Brie, and you're like, oh, buddy, I'm sorry, man.
Look, I think that both of us know as well what it takes, you know, to get rid of that subcutaneous level of water, because it is intense. But I want to, you know, whenever somebody sees, you know, bodybuilding as a sport, or see you guys on stage, there's always the thought of like, okay, supplementation and the misconceptions around, you know, what you take, and steroids specifically as well. What's your view on that? What are some of the misconceptions out there that you can maybe rectify for us?
So look, some of the biggest misconceptions, and especially those that are just getting into the fitness industry, especially with regards to supplementation-wise, they often misconstrue supplements to be steroids also. Now, steroids in a nutshell, that increases your anabolic levels in your body, whereas supplementations are more as an aid to assist you and
to replenish your
to replenish. And basically what supplementation also is, it's a concentrated form of nutrients that we find in our normal whole foods also as well, such as your proteins, your carbohydrates. And for me especially, being an attorney and working a full day, when I can't eat my 4 chicken breasts, it's so easy just to take a protein shake, or just to refuel the body. And like people would also think creatine especially, that's quite a controversial topic
it's the
as
Mac
well.
Daddy, man. I'm sorry, it's the Mac Daddy for me.
People would think creatine is also a steroid, whereas creatine is more just to pump energy into your muscles and help you with that recovery also as well. So there's a big misconception also about supplements and what you can use.
And speak to the guys. Like you say, there's a community of amazing people ready to plug into. I mean, creatine won us the 95 World Cup. Don't make no mistakes, dude. I'm all about that. If someone wants to start this journey, wants to plug into this collective mindset and start this journey for themselves, what's the best way to do that?
So the most amazing thing about bodybuilding in South Africa at the moment is that we're still in the developing stage of bodybuilding. And I belong to a federation called the IBFF Federation, and we have some amazing guys. So we have our president of the Cape Town, Michael Davis, as well as our national president, Arnie, also. And what these guys are actually doing is they're developing the sport in the country, because one of the biggest barriers to bodybuilding at the moment is the financial constraints. You know, it's access to bodybuilding. And what they're actually doing is developing bodybuilding in these communities. I must say, as South Africans, we have one of the best genetics in the world for bodybuilding. It's just to get to the international stage, it's quite a constraint. So what these guys are doing is they're developing the sport. There's federations on Instagram. You can follow them, IBFF Cape Classic also as well. There's a show the 29th of July. So there's many guys, especially the younger generation, not just guys and girls as well. And once you go and watch a bodybuilding show and you see what it entails, I mean, it's that posing on stage, you know, that illusion that you create. It's an art form. You literally fall in love with that, and that's how you get to enjoy bodybuilding.
I love how passionate you are.
Yeah, no, I
it
love
really
it.
is.
No, you've got to be, dude, in this game.
Yeah, you know what? And it really comes down to when you want to, like, if you haven't done bodybuilding before, you want to get into it. I mean, it's good to have a community like that because you need the ins and outs. You need that information. Chad, we're not done with you. We want to see a couple of poses, and maybe you can teach us a thing or two a little bit later on. We're not done yet. Bringing your kinds of inspiration this morning.
Is today leg day? Today leg day?
No, today is leg day Tuesday. Yesterday was International Chest Day.
That's why. Now we understand. He ain't going nowhere. If you want a bit of inspiration, and I'm going to call it again a fine art because they take the nuance of physical development to another level. Stick around.
Oh, and definitely stick around because it's a new week and also a brand new chance for you to nominate a special Oma in your life as the official Expresso Oma of the Week. Now, our Omas bring so much wisdom, they bring a lot of joy and wholesome love into our lives, and we want to honor them loud and proud. So I'm going to invite the gents to come and join me for a cup of coffee, have a yummy Oma to enjoy. G-Man, I'm so glad you brought your own coffee because Ewan, we've got a cup of coffee ready for you.
Thank you. Like I was spoiled this morning.
Coffee ready, yeah.
Do you guys always drink your coffee black?
Yep, always.
Well, now I kind of have to because he's all like, oh, no, always drink it black. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I drink my black all the time. No, I'll have with both. I'm not judgy when it comes to coffee.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not a coffee
Well, listen, as children, we feel our grandparents' love, but sometimes their wisdom can be a little lost on us. Now, as an adult, what is that one thing you'd love to sit down and ask them if you had the chance to do so?
Gee whiz, you're going to take it there.
We're taking a trip down memory lane.
This is, it's difficult because when you're young and you spend time with your grandparents, right? I mean, it's just, I'm with Opa and Oma, you're having a fun time. But my grandma passed away December last year, and, we were just going through some of this stuff, and I had no idea. She was an incredible poet. And she had books of poems, and the way she wrote about her primary school experiences from a very young age, and how she grew up and how she remembers walking into the school and smelling the specific type of flowers. Those kind of things. I would love to now be able to sit down and just have a discussion and just tell me about your life, because it's something that as youngsters you don't really think about or do.
Buddy.
That's what I would love.
Oh.
Completely. I mean, this is going to probably get a little bit emotional, but I had a bit of a gut check moment when my grandmother passed, and she was a very difficult person. And I think as a result, I was one of the few, because she absolutely adored me, so I was one of the few that could have kind of cracked that code. But when she passed, I did a deep dive into her social set, and just to make sure that her friends at the retirement village where she was staying were okay, and then spoke to a friend of my grandfather's and started to find out parts of their life that I had no clue. I.e., when they were young, when my grandfather was making silly mistakes, bought a hotel with a mate of his that no one else in the family knew about.
Oh, wow.
Bombed out completely. No one knew. And I always saw him as this bastion of like solid morals, and he had it
Everything
together, and he was
right.
the patriarch of the family. And I was like, wow, so he messed up as well. He lived a life, he went on adventures, he made stupid choices with his best mates, like every other guy does. And I loved the fact it just showed me that he also went through that life path, those challenges that we face. And I just would love to have sat down with him as a man to first ask how I'm doing, and to ask him like, what was the key to picking yourself back up and maintaining that, being that guy for everyone else in the family, which is amazing. And he made mistakes, and he found a way back, and I'd love to know what that looked like for him, man.
Oh, if only we can turn back time and have those precious moments with our grandparents. But if you are still blessed to have your Oma and your Opa in your life, then why don't you take this opportunity to reach out to them and learn from their years of wisdom? Better yet, why don't you share your love and appreciation with them? Now, if you have an Oma that has had a massive impact on your life, then nominate her for the Expresso Oma of the Week. We would love to celebrate with you and your Oma, and send us your special message using hashtag Oma of the Week, and we might give her the biggest shout out live on your Feel Good Breakfast show. This will definitely make her day, so we would love to hear from you. And most importantly, if you have your grandparents with you, please cherish every single moment.
For sure.
Phone them now. Phone them right now, in fact.
There is more in every dip with Oma Rusks.
So we're going to take the quickest of breaks so we can emotionally collect ourselves again after that one. Thanks, sir, for hitting us right in the feels there. And then Luke and Joshua is here to perform in just a moment. And then it's all about the Body Beautiful. If you are wanting to become a bodybuilder or be inspired on that journey, we're going to show you a couple of poses that you can emulate at home. In fact, we'd like to see proof, pictures and videos. We'll see you in just a moment. Yeah.
Stand your best chance of beating colds and flu this winter and being one of 2 winners of 5,000 Rand each with Carenza Para-C. To find out how the triple effect of Carenza Para-C makes it an essential on your shopping list this winter and how you can win 5,000 Rand in cash, catch Expresso from the 3rd to the 12th of July and manage cold and flu symptoms this season. Simply reply to the competition posts on the Expresso social media pages using hashtag Carenza Para-C and hashtag BeatWinterFlu. T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Back it is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso on S3. We hope you are having a wonderful Tuesday morning, and if you are in one of those regions that experience a lot of snow, we hope you are warm, but also you're motivating yourself to keep active, because that's another way to stay warm during this cold weather.
Yeah, you got to get out there regardless of the weather. So we put it to you guys. How do you do that? How do you motivate yourself to get up and move on those days when you just don't feel like it? Let's take a look at how you motivate the movement.
Okay, Tabang says, I always believe that I will never give up no matter how difficult life can be. Thinking positive things. I love that. Taryn says perseverance and being motivated by my kids. I think kids are a huge motivation.
Well, you'll get found out very quickly if you aren't moving and you've got kids. I love Rose's comment. Probably walk up and down, keeping busy. Keep it practical. Just get up and move, girl.
Sometimes
I love it.
you just have to move. And then Jeanette says, I have no problem working out. It comes naturally. naturally, like breathing. I know how important it is for my body and mind, as well as working out assists with both. Good morning. Oh, listen.
Sure, someone got out of bed on the right side, hey?
Oh, yes, I
Smashing
love
it.
that. You know, I admire people who this comes to naturally, and I think for those who don't, I'm one of them. Sometimes consistency, if you look at a circle, it's not completely colored full, or like if you had to reference the moon.
Yeah.
Sometimes just a slither is also part of consistency. So if you have this whole workout planned out, and today's the day you can't do that, and you can only squeeze in 10 minutes of walking, I think you've showed up for yourself.
Absolutely, and just move. And I love the fact that it's becoming such a common thing now. Offense, say, good morning, team. I'm going to motivate myself by dancing, making soups for the family, and playing games to keep us warm.
I love that.
Make it functional, make it, like getting my kids moving in that space motivates me as much as it motivates them as well. I love that.
Definitely. Well, something else that will get you motivating is, of course, getting into some bodybuilding.
Come on.
Absolutely. We are back with Chad, bodybuilder by night and attorney by day. I love it. Listen, dude, it's been wonderful to connect with you, learning about the culture of bodybuilding a little bit. But I mean, a big part of what you do is prepping for on stage, the specific poses that you're going to do, the flexes that you're going to be doing. I mean, how do you go about prepping with regards to working out? What are you going to do on stage?
So apart from, obviously, you know, the dieting and all of that, posing is one of the most important aspects in terms of bodybuilding and competing on stage. It's a different ball game entirely on its own. Some guys have a great physique, but they don't know how to show that physique off. And with posing, you actually get points for the posing that you do and how you create that illusion to show off your body on stage as well.
Because, I mean, you want to make sure that every single muscle you work, that you can track that mindfully as well. I also got to ask you, because a lot of people obviously go on their fitness journey, they want to lose some weight, put themselves in a calorie deficit. For you, on the other hand, how much do you eat, or how much do you need to eat to maintain this physique?
So basically, like I said, it's very individualistic. Everybody has a different amount of calories that they need to eat per day, which they call your RDI, your required daily calorie intake. So that's why you work it out for yourself. So basically, for me, I need to eat about 2,500 calories just to maintain. So in order to build muscles, I try and eat about 3,000 calories, and that is how I'm able to build lean muscle. And that's why it's also very important to get a coach that is able to guide you as well.
Yes, you got to have that. Okay, dude, show us a couple of poses here, man. Some of your famous ones.
They're definitely. All right. So
give me the mic, because we gotta see everything.
Okay, so for that I have to take my shirt
off.
off.
That's what I'm asking. Exactly. Okay.
All right.
Come on.
Okay. So one of the poses that we have, a lot of mandatory poses also one of my favorite poses is what they call is the lat spread, and that's the front lat spread. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that pose. So remember, with bodybuilding also, you need to look natural as well. You're not just walking rigid to the stage. So once you come and you line up, nice and relaxed in your legs, and what you do is you're squeezing down like that, and you're flexing your quads also. And
this is why we're saying just practicing the posing is a workout.
Yeah, and they don't want to see that you're breathing heavy while you're posing also. It has to be natural. So I just pass you the mic, and then I'm going to do it. So then from there, down, out like that, breathe in, and then you just spread that lats out, and then from there, boop.
And you sit,
You sit. And then you hold it for about 3 seconds or so, and then they'll tell you to do your next pose. So with posing, that's also guided as well. They tell you to do your compulsory poses. One of my favorite posings, what they call the side chest. So you basically turn to the side like that. You're showing that hammy getting down, tucking in like that, chest out. And then what you're doing also with this one here, so you're pushing it, and you bring that down to show it like that.
I see. It's all about the angles.
All about the angles, yeah.
And this is why we said, I mean, this is an art form. You got to think about what you're doing. You have one more for us.
I have one more. So another favorite pose of mine is what we call is the front double bicep. So what you do is gain some of the legs in like that. I like to reach out to the top and then bring it in from the back and out like that.
Okay. And what about a back pose?
Back pose, certainly.
Okay.
So when they tell you to face it here, so from the back, and remember, they're seeing your whole body, so it's also from your hammies out like that.
Yeah.
Push it forward, down, up.
There we go.
And then you spread your lats out, and then what you can do is, even with you tuck you in like that, and to show off the back.
There we go. Sheesh, bud. Well, thank you
You can
for
see
that.
me from that, I'm just sweating already.
There
so
we go.
That's why you have to practice your pose.
For sure. No, I'm definitely not going to attempt that. That is great. We'll leave that to the professionals. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you
so
very
much for having
man.
me on the show. Much appreciated.
And like we said, I mean, if this is something that you're interested in, or even if you just want to start a fitness journey, link up with somebody, get that accountability, join a community, which I think is fantastic. Thanks for the inspiration, man.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Sure. What a Tuesday it's been, man. Let's do it. Let's get into the rest of it.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful, dude. What I've loved the most is how suddenly the voices in my ear changed to all female voices shouting out poses that needed to happen during that segment. Well, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed.
I hope you all enjoyed it. And that's a true art. I mean, just seeing the muscle definition. Oh, well, listen, we are gearing towards the end of the show, and we love to end it off with a lach of the day, potentially sometimes surprising me with broodiness for the day. But today is all about fitness, and sometimes it can be really annoying if you are trying to do your fitness routine and having someone come to you unprovoked to show you how a certain workout should be done. Oh, let's have a look at this one for our lach of the day.
Let the motion of your body be the key, cause we be the up of a G-Funk family. I'll play the G in this deadly game. Snoop Dogg is the name, dog pounds.
We're going to be walking like this.
We got it down. We got it down. If I knew it was that easy, I'd be sorted. Hopefully you enjoyed that luck of the day. Most importantly, hopefully you've been motivated to get out there and find your way to move and connect with your body. And maybe music is the motivation you need.
Love it. So Lucan, when you perform now, just make sure of your form. It's not here, it's there. You got it. There we go. Fantastic. Lucan Joshua, after the break, performing for us. Don't miss it. We'll see you just now.
Watch South Africa versus Scotland live in France in a once-in-a-lifetime rugby experience brought to you by Clover. Catch the box in rugby's ultimate showpiece, hosted by Springbok legend Skulk Burger. 5 lucky winners and their partners will be winging their way to France, plus take a cruise to the Mediterranean island paradise of Ibiza. Buy any Clover product to enter. Watch Expresso Breakfast Show every weekday morning for more information on how you can win.
Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, indeed. Expresso right here on S3, and we are back with indie singer and songwriter Lucan Joshua. This man is phenomenal, and he's about to perform his brand new song called Superhuman. Can't wait to hear it, dude. Can't wait to hear it. Tell me about the song.
Yeah, man. So I was always a different kid in school, and I always struggled a little bit to fit in when it came to just different circles and people just misunderstanding me. And then at first I was part of the sports team, then I wasn't. And, you know, I ended up as being that typical emo kid. And I decided to write a song about just purely being a different person and being the best version of yourself.
I love it.
And encouraging the people out there that also feel the same. And they also feel maybe a little bit left out and misunderstood. And it's important for those people to also be confident in who they are.
Absolutely, because we are all unique. We all have a set of very special qualities. Lucan, we can't wait to hear it. Here he is with Superhuman. Take it away, my friend.
You can only color inside the lines just like all the other kids do. Nobody likes an upstreamer. They all grow up to be sinners. You're in detention more than anyone else. Why can't you be more like them? Nobody likes a little cheater. They all grow up to be stealers. Whoa, I know it's hard waking up every day like you're the monster, but you should know you are the hero. 'Cause we are the superhuman children of the night. Believe us when we say that we will never stop for anyone or anything, yeah. We are the superhuman children of the night. You're coming home to dead and he don't approve of Kurt Cobain on your t-shirt. Nobody likes a punk rocker. They all grow up to be killers. And in the night you're sitting and wondering, why doesn't anyone get me? But this should make it all the sweeter. You're bitter 'cause I'm a dreamer. We are the superhuman children of the night. Never stop for anyone or anything, yeah. We are the superhuman children of the night. Dum dum da dum da 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 lum dum. Dum dum da dum da 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 lum dum. Dum dum da dum da 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 lum dum. Dum dum da dum da 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 lum dum. Dum dum da dum da 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 lum dum. Dum dum da dum da 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 lum dum. Dum dum da dum da 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 lum dum. Dum dum da dum da 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 lum dum. We are the superhuman children of the night. Believe us when we say that we will never stop for anyone or anything, yeah. We are the superhuman children of the night. Dum dum da 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 lum dum. Dum dum da 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 lum dum. Dum dum da 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 lum dum. Dum dum da da lum dum.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Lucan Joshua live on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. He's got one more performance, so catch it on our socials, on Facebook and on YouTube.
Yes,
just after the show. Don't miss it.
Yeah, and then join us tomorrow. Abigail Donnelly steps in for the culinary hotline. Bling!
And then, of course, if you want to see how Raul de Mornay gets into his morning surf routine, you do not want to miss out on that.
Yeah, and from a music perspective, Jelani J and Loki Rothman will be joining us tomorrow, so make sure you do not miss it. It's been a wonderful morning, guys. Thank you very much.
It's been very special.
Thank you. Very cool.
You too. Thanks for taking one for the team with all the fitness today. We absolutely love it. To all of those that helped guide our fitness and movement journey, we love you. And Lucan, you are a legend, buddy. Thank you so much for the early start. Have an amazing day, you beauties. Never forget how much we love you. Adios.
Bye.
Nada. Feel Good production.
Welcome back to it. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show live on Facebook and YouTube right now. We have one more epic performance from our guests this morning, Luke and Joshua. This man is simply amazing, dude. Once again, wonderful to have you. Thank you. Your sound is incredible. It's one of those type of sounds that you can just get into in the feels. And it's road trip music. It's sitting in the lounge music. It's sitting at a festival, enjoying your music. It's just pretty much for everything. Man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I see you've been like doing a little bit of looping here and playing the guitar. So at what stage of your life, when did you start playing instruments and getting an interest in musical?
Oh man, I've been playing guitar since I was about 14 years old, but I needed to just find myself a little bit, and I decided at the age of 21 that I wanted to really do music. And yeah, it's been a couple of years of just a lot of character refining, and finally decided to take the big leap as we spoke about earlier. So I'm so stoked.
And dude, we love your vibe. How would you kind of describe your music style, feeling, or what you're putting out there?
Oh goodness me. It's whatever it needs to be for you. That's all I can say. But it's happy, it's nostalgic. I mean, I'm a 90s kid by nature, you know. So I mean, I like to bring that back and to make sure people don't lose their roots.
Yeah, for sure. Look, we know the 80s was good, but the 90s was lekker. Oh, man. The 90s was lekker, dude. And you're bringing that vibe. All right, so you are doing Radioactive right now.
Oh, yeah.
By Imagine Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to it, dude. Stage is yours. Take it away.
Poopa.
Waking up to ash and dust, I wipe my brow when I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in chemicals. Whoa. I'm waking up, I'm shaping up, checking out of this prison bus. This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa. I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones enough to make my systems go. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Oh, 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 oh. I'm radioactive, radioactive. Oh, 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 oh. I'm radioactive, radioactive. Raise my flag, down my clothes. It's a revolution, I suppose. We're painted red to fit right in. Oh, yeah. I'm waking up, shaping up, jacking out of this prison bus. This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa, I'm waking up. I feel it in my bones enough to make my systems go. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Oh, 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 oh. I'm radioactive, radioactive. Oh, 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 oh. I'm radioactive, radioactive. All systems go. The sun hasn't died. Deep in my bones, straight from inside, I'm waking up. I feel it in my bones enough to make my systems go. Welcome to the new age, to the new age, welcome to the new age, to the new age. Oh, 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 I'm radioactive, radioactive. Oh, 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 I'm radioactive, radioactive. massive. Thank you.
Wow, did not expect that, dude. That's epic. Epic stuff. Where can people catch you?
Man, oh man.
You just talk, man.
Yeah, I can just talk. I am on Instagram at Luke and Joshua Music, as well as on Facebook and all your major music streaming platforms. So go have a look. I also have a website up at lukeandjoshuamusic.com. So yeah, please come and have a chat with me. It'll be great to connect with you, and I hope to see you at a gig somewhere soon.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Dude, thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's been an absolute pleasure to host you. You are phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
Luke and Joshua. Have a wonderful day, South Africa. We will see you tomorrow.